Getting bougie with the koozie.
My fucking.
Getting bouge coos.
Alright, everything is back to normal.
Are we live?
We are indeed live.
Oh,
This girl is poison.
What's the harmony there?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard. That's beyond us, bro. I'll tell you right now.
There's like 4 people harmonizing there.
Dude. Yeah. Is that Belle Biv DeVoe?
Dude, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Fuck, they were good.
They were.
They were fucking good.
They were.
Check out my coos, everyone. And where's the chat?
There's the
I
chat.
hate
There
you
it is.
so much. You
Kevin,
could just add. Clearly things are going wrong.
Kevin, chat. My favorite thing is when shit's going real wrong, but Kevin's still in the playful mood to just fuck with
You
you.
gotta love it.
I'll get off.
This is
Stay!
Shut! What should my caption be for this? Check out my sweet new koozie.
Yeah. Koozing it up with my new
Hey,
koozie.
you.
Cool, Greg, how do you spell koozie?
It's C-O-O-Z.
No.
No, it's
C-O-
K-O-O.
What?
S-I-E.
It's C-O-O-Z.
Isn't it C-O-Z-I?
That's
No,
cozy.
it's
That's cozy.
K-O-O-Z-I-E.
K-O-O-Z-I-E.
Remember when you used to call people old koozes?
Coos hounds, man.
Coos house. Nick, one of his favorite things for a long time is just like, oh, he's a coos. He's an old coos house.
Oh, it is a K. K-O-O-Z-I-E. I thought that
What's up,
C.
Ignacio?
I thought that C was
Ignacio.
the noun, but K was like the proper noun. K was like a brand name or some
Like
shit.
Kleenex versus
Yeah.
tissue.
Yeah. Ding 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 ding.
What?
Make it a little bit bigger.
Can we pump up the vibe?
Pump up the
Pump
volume.
up the jam. Pump
Yes.
it up.
Pump it up.
Only if you're feeling funky, though, which I am.
You want to see someone get knocked out?
Sure. Oh, I've seen this already. He gets
I thought
headbutt.
you were gonna say
He did it in the last second, right?
Done.
Hey, Nick.
Fucking done.
And he would have won had he not done that.
Yeah, well, that's an illegal headbutt. You can't do that. You can't. Oh, shit, just pull that dude down. That's
Yeah,
fucking
but what I
nuts.
read was like, it was the end of the match. He had the match won. He didn't have to go in.
Nick,
Yes,
Charles Jacobson says, if you can read this, I will tweet you a very important gift right now, and I need you to view it.
Give it to me, Charles.
Give it to me, baby.
I drove up to Tahoe. You'd appreciate this.
Wait,
I drove
you're
up to Tahoe and we had a 90s. Like, we did like 80s on the way up, 90s on the way down. It was super fun. All out 90s.
Nick.
Fucking
Oh, yeah?
great.
Are
Fuck
you
yeah.
gonna check Twitter?
Dude, it takes a while for Twitter to fucking get to you.
It takes like 4 hours for him to read our.
Charles Jacobson's
hear our
in
message.
Denmark, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
The Twitter doesn't work the same
Time
way.
change is different.
All right, Charles. This better be fucking great.
It's an important French bulldog gift.
Oh, dude, I'm on it. Hold on.
I'm gonna say something that's kind of controversial.
And then keep it to your
I
goddamn
don't
self.
think I really like smushy face dogs.
How dare you, Joe?
What do you mean? What?
Like,
Whoa.
I don't think I
Whoa,
like-
whoa.
Like
Smushy face dogs?
bulldogs and Boston Terriers
Oh,
aren't my favorite.
Shit! Wow.
Hey, you know what? Joey, I'm behind you 100%.
Wow.
Unless
shot
they're
looks
named Mary
fantastic
Kate and
right now.
Ashley. Yeah.
It's all blurry. What are you
It's
talking
beautiful.
about?
Everything it looks really
Background.
good.
The background's gorgeous.
Gorgeous. I was gonna
Gorgeous.
say that.
How come that happens sometimes? and
I
not all the time?
don't know. We haven't changed anything in the camera.
I sometimes change.
Kevin A says, has Kevin seen
No,
Bohemian
you
Rhapsody
shouldn't.
yet?
No, I haven't.
How?
I was gonna see this
You
Sunday.
fake Queen fan.
Get the fuck out, Tim. I'll fight you right now in front of everyone.
Oh my god, Joe. Joe.
All I'm saying
oh
is
my
if there was a
God.
Weezer biopic out for Rivers, you know I'd be there day one.
Joe, it's a French bulldog playing with a balloon.
Oh, I did see that.
Dude, I love. Remember like the early seasons of Robin
Sorry,
Big
camera?
where they got Meathead or Meatball? What's it?
Can you
Meaty?
show me the camera?
No,
Show the
I
video?
didn't watch it.
You don't watch Robin Big?
I didn't.
That's a fucking ass
You
show.
never
No.
watched Robin
What?
Big?
I didn't have cable during that time.
Oh, Robin Big
Yeah.
is so
I feel
gross
like
of
you
it.
Are you
would
saying
have
Robin
been the
Thicke and you're just saying it the way I would say it?
you would have
Thicke?
been like the #1 like person writing into their fan club and
I
shit.
know.
That's
I would have
crazy.
been. I watched all of Ridiculousness.
Oh, weird.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
That's weird as fuck.
I wonder
Airplane
whatever
rides.
happened to Mini Horse.
Dude.
That's like being super into Wings but not liking the Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Wings is great.
Well, Wings is fantastic.
Yeah.
We're talking about the food.
That wasn't a great analogy.
No.
You know what I started listening to over the weekend? Pink Floyd. And I was like,
For the
I'm
first
not
time?
Well, no, I kind of I've heard Pink Floyd songs before, but I never really put 2 and 2 together. And I was like, I don't really like Pink Floyd.
Whoa.
No, hey, here's
I know,
the thing.
hot take.
There must have been something in the air because I too downloaded Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon
Yeah.
for my trip because I was like, you know what? I think I've just been pretending that I've heard this album. I don't know that I've ever actually listened to it.
And?
So I listened to it. Not for me.
No, not for me. It's
weird.
It's one of those.
What's your? Are you?
I mean, I like it. I appreciate it. I definitely like it. I'm not going to say that it's weird or anything. Like, it's weird prog rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very proggy.
People just
good.
fucking love it.
Is it
But
prog
it's
rock?
yeah.
Prog rock.
Yeah, I don't think it's prog rock.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's more like psychedelic rock.
Yeah,
It's like Grateful Dead shit.
Prog.
It's not prog. I mean, it's prog. No, Genesis is prog rock. Like,
I would say the dark side of the movie.
I gotta listen to it. I'm speaking from a point of.
Don't listen. Andy's all like, "Oh man, real punks at the Warped Tour."
I always put Pink.
Wasn't
You know, I started listening to it.
Exactly. Thank you, Mike.
Because we were listening to All Out, maybe it was All Out Aughts that we were listening to it first, and Scissor Sisters came up, and they did a cover of Comfortably Numb, which is a Pink Floyd song.
Yeah.
Hello, is anybody out there? But that one, they did a disco dance
Your
version
dad's
of it, and
all-time favorite song.
It's a great song.
Say it.
That's a
Sing it
good
again.
song.
Sing it again for me.
Hello, is there anybody out there? Let's see, I'm doing
Don't
it
help
from-
him.
I don't know
Let
the
him
song.
sing it by
I'm-
himself.
I'm doing the
Scissors.
You do know if you'd hear
Hold
it.
on. Give it to me, Andy.
Na 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 na
Na, 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 na. You've heard it before. It's in like every.
I've become comfortably
Hey.
numb.
Play it for you.
You guys get it too close, you're gonna get copyright strike.
Yeah.
True.
We're
It's true.
I've never
Let's
heard that
back
song.
the fuck off.
Never heard it.
And the harmonies.
I don't want to close my eyes.
That's it.
I don't want to fall asleep because I'm.
Guitar singer Joe Perry's in a lot of trouble.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, thank you. Now I know.
Joe Perry's in a lot of trouble.
What for?
He like sickness wise.
Oh, I thought you meant he's
Chance
like
Carter
they're
says,
fucking
"You know
after
what
him."
song sucks? Take a Chance by ABBA."
Oh, get the
outta
fuck
here,
out,
Chance.
Chance
God,
Carter.
take Chance Carter.
The only thing better than Take a Chance by ABBA is Take a Chance by the 18s, all right?
Which is ABBA's kids, right?
Hey, shout out to
I'm pretty sure the
I-
18s were ABBA's kids.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That's even better.
No.
They're
It's
not?
like a spin-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, they're
Oh,
just
okay.
covering, okay.
Hey Nick, that's a cool koozie, man.
If you say you're mine.
It's a
Thanks,
bitchin'
Andy.
koozie.
That is Fallout
It's a little
4.
cumbersome.
Pip-Boy. Turn it around at
It's
least.
a little cumbersome to put in your car.
Show
In
it
your
show it
car.
around. But
There
look
you
at
go.
look, it's got that fat stance. Nothing's gonna knock it off.
Oh,
over.
dude, you try to knock
Side
this
to side,
over?
rocket.
You try to knock this over? You're gonna hurt your fucking hand,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
This is tailgating 101 right here, a koozie.
I was watching
Cooper in
a
the
stand-up
chat.
comedy last night.
Which
One of the it wasn't the stand-ups. It's the other show that's like a bunch of 15-minute sets.
I bet it is the stand-ups, isn't it?
yeah.
Stand-ups is like 30 minutes.
The thumbnail has a dwarf guy.
Oh, is it Seth Rogen's thing?
No,
No,
It's not Seth Rogen's thing, is it?
no, I don't know. I don't know what it's called,
gotta
but
watch
it's real though. It's not like
yeah,
fake
it's real.
shit.
It's
Yeah.
real. There was a very funny joke about some dude describing how he was in. He lived in New York and he lived next to a like elementary school, and how like it was really hard for him to masturbate because like he felt like he would have to like put the
Blinds down.
Blinds down. All of a sudden, it's just like he's like, well, how many layers is enough for it to be like far? He's like, but the biggest problem of being next to an elementary school is recess happens multiple times a day, and all recess is the teachers let kids run out into the yard, and all the kids just kind of run, find their own little place. They stop for a second, and then they all look at each other and just go. For 40 minutes, and then they just repeat. And he's just like, yeah. So I got so used to. Jerking off, listening to these little kids scream. And then I realized like one day I wanted to make a joke about this. So whenever I try to remember my jokes, I'll email myself with in the subject line the joke. So I sent an email to myself that just said to do masturbate to screaming or to the sounds of screaming children. He's like, but I didn't send it to myself. I accidentally sent it to this guy that I went to college with that I hadn't talked to in 6 years.
That's fucking funny. Kevin says The Delinquents. Richard Wilcox says The Delinquents. Is that the name of it?
That sounds right.
Maybe, but I don't think so.
I really like that format. We talked about this when the stand-ups happened, where I was like, I really like the format of 15 to 30-minute sets for people. That's a sweet spot.
So good because you get to introduce to people and you're like, oh, I like you. I've followed more comedians on Twitter from this series than I have from hour-long specials.
No, like Dion Cole, I think was in the first season of stand-ups, and he was
Degenerates?
It's not Degenerates. It's not.
I gotta take
that's Joey Diaz though. He's fucking funny.
I gotta take it back a couple of minutes.
Mike can't take it back a couple
We
minutes.
just kicked somebody out of the chat for not liking ABBA.
We didn't kick him out. We
Yet
just
this
we yelled at
motherfucker
him.
over here, according to Ignacio Rojas, does not like ABBA.
I don't dislike ABBA, but what I like is I like the Bee Gees more. That's my thing.
Who the fuck are the Bee Gees, old man?
First off, the Bee Gees are the ones that made John Travolta. Okay, Grease happened, and everyone was like,
about Mr. Cotter?
"Who is this John Travolta?" Nobody fucking cares about Mr. He actually. Welcome Back, Cotter. Actually, did in fact make it. No, I love the Bee Gees. You don't like the Bee Gees?
Not as much as ABBA.
Yeah. I grew up on ABBA, not the Bee Gees.
The comedy lineup.
Sorry, we can get back to the comedy now. I just had to.
Comedy
glad
lineup.
you went
I
for
watched
it.
it. I'm so behind. I gotta watch it.
Ignacio
Joey Diaz
Rojas.
has one coming out.
You don't want to be on his side of the
Well-
argument. Don't ever be on Ignacio Rojas' side of the argument.
But
First
he
time
was
lives
on,
in Chile.
He
not
was
a real
on my
place.
side of the argument, though. That's the problem.
I
I
gotcha.
started
I
that side
gotcha.
of the argument. He stuck with
So your
me.
side
I
of the
can't
argument
flip.
is that you love ABBA.
Yeah,
When's
basically.
the last time you literally said, "You know what I want to listen to right now"? ABBA.
When I've watched one of those fucking movies that
Yeah,
ABBA
okay.
songs circle.
So
Mamma
that's-
Mia, one
that's
or two.
how I
Yeah,
call.
there we go.
Everyone loves ABBA because it's a Mamma Mia. That's so quick.
Nah,
you don't sit
no,
in your car and go,
bitch.
"You know what I'm gonna queue up is fucking ABBA right now."
I grew up on
I go to
ABBA,
this car and go,
alright?
"You know what would fucking rock my socks off right now? The motherfucking Bee Gees." And you know I listen to that shit.
dude.
This is the end.
I never saw Mamma Mia 1, but I almost shit my pants when I found out Mamma Mia 2 happened 10 years after Mamma Mia 1. Because Mamma Mia 1 feels like that tops 5 years ago.
No,
Like
dude.
10 years ago, you're like, holy shit.
Pierce Brosnan
Never
was
saw
still,
that
like,
movie.
young.
Don't know. I mean, he's timeless.
Pierce Brosnan
He's
could
timeless.
move.
He can move.
He's got the moves like
I
Jagger.
can't. I've never. You know me. I'm the first to tell you that Joey should go see anything that has to do with musicals or any sort of song, even though she's a monster and won't go see A Star Is Born.
There it is. All right.
But I just couldn't. I can't get into Mamma Mia. I don't know why. I just can't do it.
I mean, Mamma Mia notwithstanding, ABBA though. Like,
I get it. I don't dislike ABBA. ABBA's fine, but they're just not the Bee Gees.
I feel like it's more than fine.
Were you not?
They're a very
Were you
prolific
not-
band that's very famous. Yeah, they're just not my thing.
Were you not a dancing queen at age of 17?
No, I was not. I mean, I was in theater at 17, and yes, they did make me tap dance, and yes, I was like, I'm not comfortable with
God,
this.
I'd pay to see it.
But also, I was in choir, and then I quit choir because I was like, I'm in band, theater, and choir. That is a bridge too far. I can't do all three.
Like, how many women can I possibly get? You know?
It was like quite
My
the
little
opposite. I was
black
like,
book
I
is
am
full.
I'm like legit worried that someone's gonna start bullying me right now, so I quit choir. Because my first day at choir, I was there, and they were like, "Let's all warm up," and the vibe was like, "This, I can't do this vibe." And what's funny is the band. It was band on one side of the building, middle was theater, and then choir was the other side, mirrored. And I was like, I've just gone one too far. I've just gone one too far.
Now, stick with me.
Oh God.
Because this is going to be a little offensive, but I don't mean it to be that
So with me?
offensive.
Yeah, here we go.
I don't care.
Are you old enough that you ever actually had a little black book? Like, did you have a book that you kept people's numbers in, like girls' numbers in?
A little black book.
Yeah, you know, you've heard. You remember this expression?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
now it's totally gone. Now it was a movie.
With Brittany Murphy.
Oh,
that a
I
book?
do remember that. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Wait, is that
Little Black Book was like where you kept all
Like
your
hookups
yeah,
in?
your girlfriends of their
Oh.
numbers or something. Like you get a number at a bar, you put it in your little black book, or you go on a date, put it in a little black
I
book.
had a thing put up on my cork board of just like all my friends' numbers and like random people's
Sure.
phone
Yeah,
numbers.
yeah. That's not as weird, but I feel like we
I had a date finder. Remember those things? Is that what it
course.
was called?
Yeah.
That's what I had.
we
My
were
brother was really into his. And he used
we
to keep it
grew
this big.
up on this assumption that one day we would get old enough to have a book, a little black book full of ladies' numbers or whatever. And then we got there and we had these fucking personal computers in your pocket that had everything.
It's way better.
Yeah, it's way better.
And now I don't even remember any of my friends' phone numbers.
Exactly.
If I lost my phone, you guys would never hear from me again. I'm like, I don't know how to get to work. I don't know your numbers.
It is pretty crazy that I'm pretty sure my generation is the last generation that has phone numbers memorized. All my friends that I still see to
Guaranteed
this
is.
day, I know every single
Sure.
one of the phone numbers.
Yeah, same.
I know
know
Kevin's phone number
Yeah.
by heart.
Yell it out right now.
Tell everyone. Let's everyone
No.
call Kevin.
I mean, I know
650.
Kevin's house number that no longer exists.
That's I know all my childhood house numbers. I know all my childhood friends' house numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know all my friends' numbers that have been disconnected as well as their new numbers.
I know Current's grandma's number. Used to have
What the
great
fuck?
conversations with her all the time.
I was as
Is that like
that's
your
not
mom
true.
calling
That's not
Nick?
He lived there. He
No,
lived there sometimes.
I would just call and just be like, "Okay, I talked to Curran," and then she would speak Chinese. There you go.
That
The
checks out.
conversations weren't great.
we were driving back from Tahoe this weekend and trying to figure out like these weird arbitrary lines they draw in generations for like what generation you are.
Gen
Because like
X.
like Gen X, Millennial, Gen Y, Gen Z, whatever. And they are like, oh, here's the main difference between Gen Xers. And I'm like, you guys are pulling this information out of your asses.
Yeah,
like
someone has to.
like this is
It's a great point.
this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, because they were saying millennials are technically like the age range for millennials like is huge now.
It's up to like 38 or something.
It's ridiculous.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure
technically
you're
could
a
almost be
millennial now.
They do that because
It starts at 80.
yeah, because they're just like, you know what, 80s sounds good, 90s sounds good. The 2000s, sure, let's just stick it with that. Decades don't happen anymore. No one wants to call them the aughts. go fuck yourself. If you ever look me in the face and use that word,
Kevin used
Kevin,
Kevin says odds all
Yeah, I
the
say
time.
odds all the time.
Kevin-
you need to
But-
say it to his face.
Kevin, what you need to start doing is when you
Odds,
say,
bitch.
when you ask me, like when I say, hey, Kevin, what year's my car? And you go, you have to say 2006.
No, you're doing
He
it
can just
wrong.
say aught 6.
It's
just-
odd 6.
It just sounds like
Now, say it the way Nick wants it.
What's wrong with them? Do they not
They don't
understand
like
humor?
fun. You know
Do they
what I
not
mean?
get
It just
what
sounds like a cute
I'm on
way to
this
call
level.
otters.
You guys are on the same level,
What's
but on a
the
different
odds out here?
platform. I don't
Why
like
am I over there? I'm on your
You're
level.
here with me then. You just became here with me.
You know,
then.
it's like they didn't go to that weekend improv course once with that free coupon like we did. You
my
know?
God.
Come
just-
on.
you
Groupon. What's up,
okay.
fun sheep?
Join the old man squad.
It never happened.
Pretty sure last week you were arguing that you weren't quite older than 35 and technically old, and you just joined him in the old man squad.
You know what? I don't like that you listen to the show and then bring in facts and things we said before. Your topic somehow calls us back to everything. We come in here, we forget. What?
I need a solid clap right now. Thank you.
It's a good clap.
Thank you. I crushed that. I felt really good about that clap.
Yeah, the hyperdeck is broken.
Oh.
So are we?
So what does that mean for everything?
We've got multiple backup records going, so we're stronger than ever before, guys.
Okay. Great. That's all I like to hear.
That sounds like a very worried voice.
we're checked out 49er.
Now, I know I might set us back 20 years, but Nick,
Yeah.
is Mike in focus in the conference monitor? I feel like sometimes he's moving around, he's not. But I
He's
could
a
just,
li- he's
this
a
is my
touch
eyes.
out.
Lean back, Mike.
Thanks, Andy.
Well, now I can't see shit.
Andy's on it.
He's out of focus.
No, he's fine. He looks good. It looks better than it's
I
ever looked.
slouched though.
Tim looks great.
How do I
Tim
look?
always
See,
looks
me and
great.
Tim are in focus. You guys are a touch
Andy,
soft.
how do I look?
But I'm willing to.
You look pretty good.
Thanks, bud.
You look great.
I'm actually
that
okay
slide?
with the way it looks.
What?
I mean, you
A
can.
pretty
the
good
back
from
wall
Andy's,
looks
like a
real good.
9.0 from IGN.
That should have fixed it.
Yeah, but now it's a little dark, so let's gain up a Scotiando.
Scotiando.
Excuse me.
Shout out. Actually, you know what? I'll save it.
Okay?
Yeah, it's great.
Saving the shout out.
Actually,
I did. I'm kidding.
I know you did.
I had a soda.
I'm fucking amazing. I see everything. I see all. I see all. I understand none.
Sounds about right.
God
Good,
bless me with the gift of sight, but no wisdom.
You don't know how to use it.
I'm a blind man in a forest, ladies and gentlemen. Who wants to pick some berries for me and Greg?
Where the berries at?
Why don't you ask Andy where the fucking blackberry?
Andy, give me my black
There's no way that Nick remembers the Whisper song, Charles Jacobson.
No. What is the whisper song?
I hear the whispers that you keep. When
I'm killing you in your sleep.
Jesus
Hey,
fucking
don't look
Christ.
up. It's a knife above your head.
I gotta hop into the chat real quick.
Do it.
Kevin Hollick, are you all right? I just saw the picture of your car wreck.
And he's in the chat?
Yeah,
He's fine.
What?
If he made the chat, he's fine.
bitch. I've been on my deathbed and made it into not
That's
the
fair.
chat because I'm a lurker, but
And also, I will thank you to not call me bitch. Only my wife calls me bitch.
Jeremy Goldman says, Greg, did you say a time for the Portillo's meet and greet? 1 p.m. November 24th. Saturday, November 24th. Portillo's in
I
Bloomingdale.
thought it was 3 p.m.
It's 1 to 3 p.m.
Cool.
It says 1-3.
Then I read it right.
You fucking idiot.
People are going to show up at 3. We're like, Greg, Nick said 3 on Monday.
2 weeks ago.
That's fair.
I hope they look into something before then.
Let's see. Enigmatic says, so guys, thoughts on Stan Lee's passing? I think that's going to be Greg's topic.
Topic number
today.
1, don't worry about it.
Yeah, so
We're
we'll
waiting
talk
on
about
Kevin.
that.
All right, Kevin's good, he says.
Miss Yasmin says, I want to hear everyone's thoughts on butt chugging.
Not a fan.
Not a real thing.
Don't
don't
do
do
that.
it.
It really can fuck you up.
You will die.
You can't you can't
You
butt
might
chug.
die. Stop being cowards. You know what I mean?
You can definitely die.
Jesus, Kevin.
I haven't done it. I'm not planning on doing it.
Let's
Don't
make Tim
do
butt
it.
chug.
It's bad
Let's make Tim
ideas.
butt chug a LaCroix
Here we
today.
go. We got something. This is Kevin Hollick.
Yeah, that's Kevin Hollick.
Can I get the caption?
Make
Oh,
it real
I see.
quick.
All right. Nothing like a real world manifestation of how my life has been the past few weeks. Upside down, smiley.
Boo.
But his airbags are all deployed.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
man,
I'm glad to hear
Toyota.
you're all right, Kev.
Those Toyotas are
Oh, he's in Illinois too.
reliable.
Yeah, he said he was going to be at Portillo's with you.
Oh. He's just angling for me to buy him a milkshake. And it worked, Kevin. I'll buy
You're
you a
gonna get a
milkshake. You got to clip this out, though, and bring this clip to play. Otherwise, I won't remember it. I'll call you a liar, and I'll take your bin.
You gonna take that bin?
Andy.
That'll buff
How you doing?
out, says bastard.
So that'll buff out. That's fucked up.
Shout out, of course, to Jamie Skizup as well. She's been spouting off about you wearing the snow Mike
Yeah,
shirt. the
I saw
entire
that.
time.
Good.
Yeah.
No, Jamie is one of the first actual kind of funny best
Save it.
friends
I want
that
to know.
I
wanna know.
connected with.
I want to know more about Toggle and everything else in here. I wanted to shush. I said save it.
Oh,
Save it.
my bad.
Don't burn the
God,
podcast. We're at that point where it's a tipping point. of where's the show gonna go.
We just gotta wait for Nick.
It's coming up here. That's where it's gonna go.
Uh-oh, the tippity top. We're going to the
What
top.
if I did this and I came back down and I had a little kitten?
Oh, that
You guys had known, obviously, I had a kitten suspended up here. I'm not saying I made the kitten out of nothing, but for the viewer,
Dude, Miller,
I did this.
that is a conversation we just need. We just need to find a kitten.
And I come
I'm
back
pretty
down
sure
to
I can
kitten.
find us a kitten
No,
for a couple days.
easy. You know what I mean? Easy to find kittens. You can't
Dennis
throw a rock
J
out
says,
there.
for some reason, I associate butt chugging with you guys.
We've talked about cockblockers before, right? That's it. John Cena butt chugging.
And then he says, have you talked about it before, or do you just look like you could drain a beer down your cornholes? Honestly, we have talked about it, but like...
Not to that extent.
Guys, to be honest, I don't think I could do it.
Really?
No
Yeah.
way.
You want to put it to the test?
No way? What do you mean, no way?
I couldn't do it. I want to do it. I couldn't do it.
Well, I understand wouldn't, but like, you don't think you could?
I don't think I'm physically possible. I feel like it'd be one of those hiccup situations where it's all just coming back up.
Oh God.
Yeah, how deep you gotta get that pipe in there?
I don't know, but
not that
out of
deep.
all of us, I feel like you could do it.
Oh, Greg Miller for sure could physically do it. That's a fact.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Me and beer go together like water and water, you know. So I mean, it makes sense on that level, but I just don't know
Anyway.
going in that way. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
It's so very uncomfortable. So it's good.
Hey, Kev.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
I don't want to see the you sucking a dick motion over there. So am I staying close enough to the mic? Am I good?
Yeah, right now you've been doing good so far.
Okay. I just worry.
Stupid fucking fires.
Do the fires make it hot?
Yeah.
They make it so we can't open the windows.
I mean, we
'Cause of the smoke.
could.
When you're talking to somebody who smokes a fucking pack of cigarettes a day.
It's just funny. Fran came in here on Friday. He was like, "What are you guys fucking doing? Close all the windows. Close the doors." Like, that's a good idea. There's a bunch of morons just sitting here, everything
Smart.
open, smoking the
Mr.
place down.
Yasman's got a solution to this. Soak a
Don't gas
tampon
it?
in alcohol
No,
and
that's
then shove it up
boofing.
your
That's
ass.
That's how you
boofing,
boof.
and that's
That
bad
is
as
boofing.
well.
That's
That is
you gotta
also
boof it.
very bad.
I think
not
butt
chugging.
chugging is the same as boofing, but like boofing.
To a degree.
There's a
Boofing
chug
typically
involved, though.
more with drugs.
In the same way that you need to, do that opening and closing of the throat thing with the cup,
Yeah,
you need
yeah.
to do that the other way too.
That's where I was saying I'm gonna have the hiccuping.
I know, but that's
So
where
you're
the
like saying
chug-
how you got to open your throat when you're chugging a beer. You got to open your butthole, or I guess not just your
What you
small
do
intestine.
Your
with the
sphincter.
butthole is that you push out. You
Yeah.
push out.
Your small intestine's not connected to your butthole.
Good call.
So you know.
Good call. That's no. You're right. You're right on that. You're right. So where am I? What is?
You're going in through your rectum.
It's all
Yeah. So
connected.
what am I? What muscle am I using here?
It's your anal sphincter.
Wrecked
But
him, damn near killed him.
Killed him. Damn
Black
near
sheep.
boofed him.
Or Tommy Boy.
Greedier says, I've worked in pathology labs, so my knowledge of the colon is above average. My advice is be careful what you put up your butt. I've seen
Don't
crazy
put anything up
things
your
in
butt.
people.
Greedy ears, I did not know that about you.
I didn't know that either. But yeah,
I had no idea.
I'm aware.
1001 shot, Doc.
Pathology.
1001
Greedy
shot.
I want to know what Greedy Ears did in the pathology lab. Like, what did you do?
He fucking examined buttholes. Clearly.
Man, that's a life. That's the life. You're living the life. Every day you go in there, just got,
And
hey, here's
now
10
that I'm
buttholes for you to
thinking
look at.
about
I'm
I
like,
feel like
That is your
Greedy Ears
dream
just
job,
talked
isn't
about
it?
this.
I think the butthole, arguably the funniest part of anybody. The butthole.
Sure.
I spent 3 days straight around 2 Boston Terriers, and they got funny little buttholes.
You
But
stay
one of them
out
has
of
a
this,
tail
Jeremy.
that barely covers the butthole, which is why my sister-in-law picked it, because it just covers it a little bit. And I'm like,
Oh,
it's weird.
I thought you meant pick that butthole.
Ew.
There's a GIF going around
All right,
of some
let's,
woman. There's a dog, and like the dog's just kind of chilling, and she takes the tail and like pulls the tail up to look at the butthole,
Oh, God.
and the dog gets scared, just kind of goes like this, and it just shoots the most poop I've ever seen all over.
This is a gift for this?
It was going viral.
Can we see this
weekend?
Kevin, please,
I'm
please,
looking,
let's
I
please
don't
Google
know
this.
What's a lookup, though?
Dog
poop gif?
butthole, poop, tail.
Dog tail.
I was
Nailed
prepared.
it.
I was prepared for this. This still could be. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller. Kevin Coelho is off camera trying to find a GIF of a dog getting excited and sharding all over its owner, apparently.
Great.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Which one is
this
it?
the one?
To the left.
Oh, Jesus.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's not the one I thought you were
yeah,
going to
no,
show.
no,
I'm,
no,
not
it's
gonna,
this
I'm
one.
not gonna show the kids.
Oh!
I'm gonna show the kids.
That's fake. That has to be fake.
I don't know, man.
Look at
I
the
don't
dog,
know.
dude.
The dog looks startled.
Dog's like, the dog, that look at the dog's face is, I didn't know I could do that either.
That's a
God.
sick, poor puppy.
Oh my God.
What a sick little dog. Oh, man. To my left, the producer / seducer, Nick Scarpino.
I'm getting another Velcro strip.
He's getting another Velcro strip.
And the Velcro strips.
Did that just make it on like the actual GOG?
Yeah, well, did you show it? We said not to show it. Did you show it?
I did show it.
Oh, okay. Nobody cares. No, I didn't mean like that. I'm just saying, yeah, that was the opening of the GOG. Over there, the verified one, Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host.
He might have a concussion. We'll talk about that soon.
Yeah.
And joining us for the first time ever on the show, Mike Camp. Hello, Mike Camp.
Hi, guys.
You supported us on patreon.com/kindafunny because you don't respect your money. And now you're here at the table. How's it feel?
Surreal.
Yeah?
It is crazy.
Here, hold on, I want to do this one. Just do this to your hair.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Earlier, but I didn't. I forgot.
Fucking judge.
I gave him the
you-
fucking
Wearing that
juice.
snow bike Mike shirt.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Yep.
One I still don't have, I believe.
He gave us a bunch.
You have
Where is it?
You have a fuck ton in the closet back there.
No one told me. Kevin, get me an extra large Snowbike Mike t-shirt, please.
I think I'm walking out of here with a second one.
Oh, no, that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. So there's a lot to unpack here before we get to any of the topics, of course. Number one, Tim, you're concussed, maybe.
I am concussed, maybe, yes.
Where we come down on this? All right, earlier today you confessed to me you hurt yourself on a wine glass during the XO18 event.
Yeah.
Afterwards with What's Good Games.
Yes.
I knew Andrew and is a bad influence and I shouldn't leave you alone with her. I apologize for that.
Tim, can we look at the camera?
You laughed, you punched your head down, and now you got this cut on your head that bled real bad on the
Yeah.
thing.
So here's the thing. I don't think I'm concussed.
Okay.
I do think it's a lot of elements at play where my body is slowly giving up on me.
Okay.
And it's
It's
happened
called old
before.
age. It's once you hit 30,
I'm hitting
it's
that.
done.
You're an old fogey too?
I'm working. I'm going to be
Shit's just,
30
you're
soon.
like, why does the inner part of my shoulder hurt? Like, that's the shit. you
It's
have to
not so much
ask
that. I've had this issue that I've talked about on the show many times for many years, where I have really bad earwax problems.
Yes.
Where after a certain point, my ear gets clogged up and congested to a point that
Pain.
it kind of there's a pressure and a pain. It gets hard to kind of hear, and there's like a ringing that happens.
Similar to Daredevil season 3.
Yes, exactly.
You watching
So
that?
I got my shit cleaned like last year, but I was in the shower, and that's when I start to know there's a problem. Is when the water gets in, and it just does that thing where it just feels like there's water in your ear still.
Yeah.
And it won't get out no matter what you do.
Of course.
So I was feeling that. So I think it's a mix of that's happening to me again with the pain of the ringing of the potential concussion
Sure.
mixed with the shitty quality of the air outside.
Right. Everything's on fire in California.
So everything's really bad for me right now. So I got the little nasal spray
Yeah.
at lunch. The thing you stick it up your nose, you kind of push, and it does the thing to like help with the congestion. But it backfired on me. My throat is burning right now because you put it in your nose and you don't expect it to come out your mouth. I
Yeah.
understand that's
Very few
the
things do.
physiology of it all, but that's what I'm dealing with right now, guys. You know what I mean?
But you're playing through the pain. You're playing through the pain. Are you going to go to a doctor? It's just
Eventually.
not worth a doctor visit.
This ain't worth a doctor visit. I just got to keep pushing through. We got too much shit to do.
Yeah, but you still go to a doctor.
I was this close to being like, Greg, I'm not coming over tonight. But I'm like, no, we got to work.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm gonna
We do
do
have to do that, yeah. We could do that at satellite, you know what I mean? All right, fine, have your what's
Tomato,
called.
tomato.
Mike Camp, where are you from?
I am from Utah.
Just the great, just the state of Utah?
The great state of Utah.
All right,
No,
it
I
seems
live-
like the only place anybody lives is Salt Lake City.
essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Salt Lake County and Utah County are pretty much where everybody lives.
Okay.
I live in a tiny town called Alpine. There's 5,000 residents, maybe.
Got some speakers, though.
Not, yeah,
Where came you
not
from?
very populated.
Born and raised there?
Born in Phoenix.
Okay.
But
They got
moved,
a Portillo's there now.
do they? I'm going down there for my little sister's graduation in December. I'm
Okay,
gonna
great.
have to go hit up Portillo's for
Great.
the first
If
time.
you can time it with the WWE pay-per-view, Trevor and Unsexiest Comedian will be there doing their usual Portillo's bet, but I digress. I know too much about the community.
But no, I moved to Utah when I was like 4 and been there ever since. So
Okay. Here's my next question for you. Thank you for being a fan. All that jazz. We love you. You're a best friend. You knew that already. You having fun today?
fuck
We,
yeah.
we always feel bad because we all have to really work. So like we're not talking to you as much as we want. We're not engaging with you as much.
It was
as
a
we want
great
to.
morning show today.
Did you talk to him?
He was watching it.
Yeah, he
And-
watched
well,
Games
we
Daily as well. I'm
interacted
just
with him.
saying.
Yeah,
Excuse me, sir. I was talking to Tim.
I apologize.
It's okay.
I rest my case.
Fucking painted me into a corner. When you came in, they started shouting out the toggle in there. Toggle. And Jamie knows you as Toggle. And you were
Yes.
talking about how you know Jamie Skizzip and all this stuff. But you also described yourself as a lurker.
Yes.
So how do you have inroads to the community?
So I've been a lurker since the Beyond days.
Yeah.
I watched you and Colin for God knows how long. Then you came over here. I still lurked. Had a rough couple of past years.
Okay.
And you guys have helped me get through the past couple of years. And recently I've finally, you know, gotten over some mental issues, gotten over just a bunch of issues. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get out there in the community.
Hell yeah.
Jamie knows me from Snowbike. I'm a big contributor to Snowbike. I'm a big contributor to Andy. And that's where I met Skizup.
Gotcha.
And we interacted a little bit. And that's where, I mean, I don't catch you guys' shows live very often because of my work schedule. Because I get yelled at when I've got my phone on with Kinda Funny on my computer.
Tell your boss to suck it.
Yeah, exactly.
I tried.
Do this thing. Come
She's
over.
a woman. I got sent to HR.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, yeah, with all due respect, you can tell anybody to suck it. They're going to send you to HR. That's going to be a big thing. But it's funny, right? Of like, we're going to take a quick Greg Miller detour here, right? Where it's funny of like, I think of Suck It from D-Generation X and professional wrestling in such a non-gendered, I'm not saying suck my dick, you know, it's not what I think of or whatever. And there was a Games Daily, remember this, Kevin?
Yeah.
Where there was a Games Daily 6 to 9 months ago, or in that window at least, where we were, it was two normal hosts, maybe me and Jared, maybe me and Tim, it doesn't matter. And we were going through the outro, and Kevin, Andrea Renee got brought up. Kevin's like, yeah, she's no good. And I'm like, yeah, suck it, Andrea Renee. And Kevin's like, Jesus, Greg, no. And it was that thing where the wheels clicked, and I was like, you really can't throw that around. You can't throw that around without the proper context. And not that the context of I was talking about wrestling makes sense, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like I do know what you mean, because I think you should have been way harsher against that fake paper champ.
I know where you live, Andrea. She's not the champ. You're still the champ.
Who seems to think that she can come into my house and take my belt from me and wage psychological warfare. Look at she's out there right now thinking about it.
She's scheming.
She's figured out the cat. She knows how to work the cat. You guys couldn't figure that shit out. She's gonna take your belt.
Well, she cares.
And then the true champ is gonna take it back.
Who's that?
The man to my
Johnny
left.
Ace?
Yeah, it's me, Greg
John
Miller.
L. Ace.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
John L.
So you decided to stop working and get out there.
Yeah.
And that's what you just start popping up in chats and comments.
Yeah,
and
started popping up in chats, comments, watching stuff. A couple years ago, my financial situation was an absolute mess. Made the decision earlier this year to sell my house.
Okay.
In turn, paid off so much debt.
Nice.
And had a ton left over, and now I've got a great new job too, so I've been able to contribute to the people that have kept me sane the past few years, hence why I'm here.
Thank you.
But same thing with like Snowbike and Andy, and I gave a few subs to Sancho West the other day.
Oh.
I just, I'm finally in a position where I can give back to the community.
That's awesome.
So I'm, putting myself out there in the community, but at the same time giving back to the community as well.
Well, that's fucking rad,
Beautiful
dude.
thing.
What do you do?
I work in telecommunications.
Okay. I like
He's a
this.
spy. That sounds like that's a spy ass thing to say.
No, that puts too many eyes on you. That puts eyes on
A
you.
spy-ass thing to say would be like a floral shop.
Or imports, exports.
Import, export, definitely.
Oh, I'm an
Definitely
import, export.
sounds like
You're
something bad's
fucking
happening.
James Bond, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
You are motherfucking James Bond.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Over Greggy show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can get each and every episode early. How early, Mike?
If you're a Patreon supporter, of $1, you could be watching it live right now, like you guys are.
Just like El Chacho 1989 is.
yeah, he is.
In the chat, El Chacho said this is his first time catching us live. Thank you for your support on
Thanks,
Patreon.
El Chacho.
That's kind of funny. What is up? What is happening?
Nothing, just
You're
looking
doing
at-
that thing where you're like just staring at the ceiling and it's creeping me out.
He's seeing the imaginary kitten that you
There's
formed
a cat
up there.
up there.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch.
Watch
of
the pre-show.
You get the pre-show and the post-show and the live show if you give us $1. If you don't want to give $1, want to give more money, you can get the MP3 version early for $5. You can get the post show and big show as one big video ad-free. That's all on patreon.com/kindafunny. If you don't want to give us any money, no big deal. The following Friday, 1 week after everything posts on patreon.com/kindafunny, it goes live for free on youtube.com/kindafunny and on podcast services around the globe. Patreon producer today, DJ Kento.
DJ Kento.
Thank you, DJ Kento, as always. And also thank you to all these people, Patreon names that are scrolling by that supported us. Kevin, what month is that? Any idea? October. Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
Kevin, show people the Kev cam real quick. I just wanted them to see what you're working with right now with that hair.
It doesn't look nearly as impressive that way. I saw it when he sat up too. He looked like...
Turn to the side.
Yeah. He's got a little bit... He's like stage 1 Marge Simpson. You know what I mean? Like it's starting. The chia pet has bloomed.
Is the Peruvian Mick Foley coming back?
We can only pray.
I don't think so. Paul really doesn't like it. So, you know.
I love the hair. I love when you did Riggs from Lethal Weapon. It was the best hair ever.
And today our sponsors are Hims and Robinhood, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's start with my topic, and we have 4 topics. Let's see if we can get them all in. What do you say, Nick?
I doubt it.
Damn. My topic's Stan Lee.
Hey, oh.
Yeah, as we're recording this the day that Stan Lee died. 95 years old. Holy shit.
It's a crazy one. Like, this is one that I feel like we've all known was gonna happen.
Right.
And like we've all kind of, I feel like more so than any one celebrity, I feel like I've heard talk about this inevitably happening. Like, I remember being back at IGN and having that conversation of like, hey, we should probably write up an obituary for a bunch of different people in case it happens, so it's like ready, because that's what news people do.
Right.
And I remember like Stan Lee being kind of the forefront of that conversation.
Right.
And it's just like, it's a surreal thing that here we are. It happened. You know, somebody that is so ingrained in the pop culture that we love, and especially with the MCU movies now, of like, which a lot of people would say is the modern day Star Wars of film franchises. Sure. And it goes even beyond that when it comes to the comics and the TV shows and everything that video games that he's been a part of. Like, this is a big one.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely the father of like all things that are relevant in the, I don't want to say nerd, I'm just like mainstream, like comic book.
But I mean, like, he's the comic book guy.
He's the face.
Right? You know what I mean?
He's probably the most prolific and most popular comic book creator
ever. And it's because he's the guy. Thank you very much. Thank you. Way to be asleep at the fucking wheel on that, Mike Camp.
You know what? I got the string off your shirt earlier today.
That's true. You did do that.
Let's-
all right. Okay, cool. I'm glad everybody's taking care of me. Way to not be taking care of me, Nick.
You smell funny. That shirt
It's
smells
the shirt. It's a brand new shirt. Shirts smell
love
funny
new
when they're
shirts smell fucking
You know what it
vinegar.
reminds me of?
What's that?
Halloween, circa 1990. I'm gonna say 91.
Sure.
I was like one of my first store-bought costumes ever. My mom bought me. She bought me a striped sweater and the Freddy Krueger mask.
Oh, okay.
That came with the glove, and I wore that fucking mask for like 3 months.
Sure, you did. Get your money's worth.
Smelled so bad inside.
I was
it
really
smelled like
worried.
hot mustard. That's what
This smells like hot mustard.
I was really worried you were going to say that it smells like the candy you ate in 91, because I feel like the brand new shirts smell like vinegar.
They do.
And I'd be like, I'd be like, what the hell candy are you eating in 1991?
It's just that weird, shitty plastic that I'm sure killed brain cells when I was inhaling it, but it didn't matter. I was Freddy Krueger, so it was cool.
I was Freddy Krueger.
If you allow me to grab the wheels, this spins out of control and get us back over
What
here. First off,
podcast-
shout out to the Pit Boy as a koozie.
It's really working.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, you want to do a beer in it later?
Sure, fuck
All
yeah.
right,
Yeah, doggy
Do we have
dog. Let's
another one of these?
party. No.
We got the helmet. You want to fill the helmet up?
Just drink out of it. No, to your point,
paint can out of the
and
helmet.
what's interesting is that Stan Lee is, or was, I guess, but is still, is the modern touchstone, right? When you think of Bob Kane or, you know, Superman.
Siegel.
Yeah.
Siegel? Is that his name?
Yeah, it was Siegel and Schuster. Siegel and Schuster, like, they're people who made comic books in a different, like, you know, in black and white photos. You know, they're ones who existed outside of the real, the now, the modern pop culture aspect of comics. And even when you get into like Jack Kirby and stuff like that, he never had the presence Stan Lee did, right? Stan Lee like did it and then never really left, if that makes sense. So many other people created characters and then receded or went and did something else.
And that's the thing. I don't think it's 100% fair to say that he helped shepherd, like, or he was the sole shepherd.
Oh God, no. Oh God, no.
Like, you've got a lot of people back there that are like that are producing and helping to create the cinematic universe.
1000%,
including Kevin Feige, but which I would say is probably equally as important. But yeah, it's interesting because he became an icon.
Exactly.
And I think that while you say you bring up Jack Kirby, who was Spider-Man, right? He's the one that created Spider-Man.
No. Jack Kirby was like New Gods and all that stuff, yeah.
Who created Spider-Man?
Stan Lee.
Was it Stanley?
Yeah.
Wasn't the majority of the beginning of Marvel's created by both of them together?
Yeah. There's a lot of like this way and that way.
And that's the thing about rights and stuff too.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I think of it when it comes to like video games, where Miyamoto is the face of Nintendo.
Great point.
He didn't make all the Nintendo stuff, but he gets credit for it, and it's in a weird way. And like, yes, that's wrong because people just should get their own credit. But at the same time, it's kind of like, you need a face. Like, things need a face for them to reach that next level of superstardom, of mainstream appeal.
Yeah.
And I feel like Stan Lee, I think it's fair to say he is one of the most like well-known celebrities in the world.
Well, and I mean, to that point, a bunch of people that maybe not even seen MCU movies. You say the name Stan Lee, they know who he is.
Yeah, like even like my mom would know who Stan Lee is.
And
my friends would know.
That's
who
a
Stan
great
Lee
point too, right? Is that Stan Lee was a personality before personality. Like we think of ourselves as internet personalities, right? He was a personality from comics that crossed over into a whole bunch of different stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where it is that you figure, like, you know, it's been going around Twitter today, all the different Stan soapboxes, right? The fact that it was called Stan Soapbox and it was him just talking every issue to somebody or some point, like that goes so far to establish that it's the same way when I used to read EGM, that was, Dan Shu. Dan Shu was writing this letter to me, and that made Shu a personality to me in a way that maybe the review crew wasn't, even though their names were out there. I think Stan Lee did that on top of creating these characters, on top of being the face of them and for them in a while. There's that other one going around today of like the Atari Spider-Man game thing, right? Where his legs are kicked up and he's got a joystick. Like people even knew him then, right? And to think of like, you want to talk about me trying to figure out comics and nerddom as a kid or whatever, but like watching Mallrats and like Stanley's in Mallrats, right? And it's like I already knew who Stanley was, but then there he was in a weird motion picture that's all about fucking superheroes having sex and like weird ass conversations and blowjobs and farts, and then Stan Lee's there talking about love is a
he was everywhere. But what's so cool about him is that he created all these characters that are so iconic, but he himself is iconic as a character. Like he has catchphrase, right?
Oh,
like that's like something that so many that now a lot we all do. We all have Let Tim Host and random shit.
We all
like
have
that.
Let Tim Host.
Huh?
Yeah, no,
we all do. We share it as a vision.
We say it about you behind your back.
Just like Nick and
I'm pretty
Donkers.
sure that everybody has Tim's verified and Greg's not as well.
Exactly.
Please
But
stop, Mike.
whatever it is. But he kind of transcended beyond just the characters that he made into his own thing, into his soapbox and all that. And then he could be on TV, no matter where he is, say something and people go crazy.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that's rock star status.
And it's the same thing of like, when they started doing the Lego Marvel games, right? It was always the Stan Lee in peril. That like there'd be a Stan Lee in every level to find, and he would narrate or do this. And it was like, again, I remember doing the DC Lego Batman, whatever, I guess 2. Yeah, Lego Batman 2 panel when I was hosting that. Maybe it was 3, doesn't matter. And they introduced Adam West as Adam West in peril, right? And it was that conversation of like, oh, this is cool. And I brought it up on the stage, like, that Marvel has Stan Lee, and like, it's cool to see DC try to do that. But even that, as much as I love Adam West, rest in peace as well, it was like not the same thing, right? Where it was like, oh, that's a cool idea. Yeah, but like, Adam West is just represented for DC, whereas like, Stanley is Marvel, right?
Yeah.
You trace all this stuff back to him.
Playing Spider-Man on the PlayStation 1, the Neversoft game. Like,
Sure.
The thing that made that game so special is you boot it up, and the first thing that you hear is Stan Lee narrating what's going on, and all of a sudden it felt credible.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh my god, like, this is not just a licensed title. Like this is a game that, from its soul outwards, is a comic book. Right, it's like you're getting an authentic Spider-Man experience, and like that works all the way through to modern Spider-Man games.
Right. And that's why I think it was such a cool idea with the MCU to have him in cameos all the time, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And even before that, X-Men,
Good point.
Spider-Man,
Great point.
Marvel movies in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you bring up, or you don't bring this up, I'm bringing it up, but we're talking about MCU stuff now. A long time ago, I remember hearing something that they had recorded a bunch of Stan Lee cameos and like stockpiled them. Is that true?
There was rumors of that. I feel like the last 2 years of Stan Lee news, everything has to be taken with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Where I feel like it reminds me a lot of the like DC movie news, where it's just like I feel there's so much fake news, so many headlines that are put out there because then they know we're gonna get clicks, and things taken out of context and spun out of control. So who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Far From Home is our last Stan Lee cameo.
And,
Gotcha.
and I heard something similar along those lines. It was right around when Stan Lee started canceling going to cons because he was, too old. From what I understood, he recorded through Avengers 4 and Far From Home, and I think maybe even another one. But again, grain of salt, because he's canceling cons because he's not leaving his house. Right, he's going to leave his house to go make a cameo.
Yeah.
Unless they green screen it and do whatever Nick said on the morning show this morning.
Yeah, which I'm, by the way, as a joke, I said that, but I'm vehemently against them doing any sort of like, let's facially put a CGI.
Yeah, I think definitely at this point you
don't
need
do that.
to, the way I would handle it is whatever you have in the tank, or I would say at a more respectful time, not like the day he dies, right? But be very clear that, we filmed Stan cameos through this movie, and then after that, they're done in the traditional way you expect. And then from there on out, Employee of the month, you know, on
Yeah.
a newspaper, like little nods,
Yeah,
like
Easter
that.
eggs in there,
Stanley
but-
or Lee Street or something
Yeah,
like that.
But you
you know?
know there's someone over at fucking Disney right now that's like, yo, we should just do the Princess Leia.
Do you think
treatment
so?
for it. Someone,
I don't
I'm
think
sure
so.
that I'm sure someone thought about that or is thinking about that, and they're gonna get shot down because it's just the absolute wrong
Well,
thing to do.
I hope they haven't had that thought yet.
Oh, I'm
but
they
I'm
have.
sure
Let's put it
somebody
this way.
has.
If I've had the thought,
True.
I'm always late to the game. Someone else is like, well, we're gonna just keep doing this for a while.
The question we were talking about on Kind of Funny Games Daily is, do they have time to do something now in DLC 3 of Spider-Man, right? Like you figure we have 2 more Spider-Man DLCs before that season's wrapped. If they're doing more, who knows? But if they get to that episode, can they put something in episode 3 for it? Whether it just be a plaque, a memorial, a headline. I think they do for sure.
When we were reading the question, I was just like, oh, it's not happening. But then your response being like, oh yeah, 100% it's happening. I'm like, fuck, shit.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right.
It's
Like,
it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be interesting to see how. Because I know that they'll do it in a respectful, cool way, but it's just a question of where do you put that and how do you put it, and like. Like I was talking to you earlier, again, we're not going to spoil Spider-Man stuff for you, but there's a big event that happens in the Spider-Man story that then the DLC 1 has a plaque on the ground of like dedicated to the people that, and it's like, oh man, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That wasn't, to my knowledge, the main campaign never took me there, and I missed it or something. Somebody, ran over there and found it. So they're still willing to play with that world. I think there's a way to play with that world, especially,
Definitely.
there's buildings that would make sense for him based on what
Yeah.
we've seen and heard before.
Yeah.
There's that, and then there's also the. Isn't somebody up north working on a Avengers game?
Yeah. Oh no, Crystal Dynamics are here. Crystal Dynamics here is working
That's,
on it. Yeah.
I imagine going forward, there will always be
100%.
something.
Yeah.
But
Something.
That's a ways away.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You know?
See, me and Nick were talking about it earlier, and I think this has been an underlying sentiment I've seen a lot in it. It's oh man, Stan Lee passed away, right? But I feel we've all been getting prepped for it, like you said, for a long time. Because there's always that rumor, right? When it's something will happen or when it's trending already, Stanley's trending for something, you'll pop in like, oh shit, okay, he's not dead. But it has been this whole hullabaloo of, right, like when his wife died, everybody was like, man, that's devastating. They were like, yin and yang. They were so perfect together and fed off of each other in terms of energy and excitement that you worried there. And then obviously the year plus of horrible headlines of people trying to take advantage of him and Kevin Smith inviting him to move in and like nobody can talk to him and he fired his longtime partner, and it's like, what the fuck is going on, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think what we were talking about, right, is like, and like a lot of people are, is just like, rather than do the, and grieve however you want to, but the rest in peace thing and like, oh, you know what I mean? But like a celebration of 95 years and everything
Yeah,
he
for
created.
sure.
and
Yeah,
his
I mean
amazing
that's my
livelihood.
thing is like I feel like obviously you have to process this as it comes to you. When I think about Stan Lee passing today, I don't feel sadness. I feel like a level of like inspiration for a guy that managed to live 95 years and have a huge cultural impact and inspire millions of people, to untold amounts of people to do
100%.
awesome stuff. I mean, he provided countless entertainment for. I mean, he just fucking lived an awesome life. And I look at that and I'm like, yeah, it's sad, but and I don't want to take anything away from that. Like the passing of any life is sad, but at the same time, I'm like, if I make it to 95 and I can accomplish even, I don't know, a 1/100th of what Stan Lee did for the world, I will consider myself a huge success. And I think it's just super cool and super inspiring. And it sucks that, some of these stories that have come out recently mar it a little bit, but at the same time, I feel like he leaves a legacy that as a person who considers himself an entertainer, like that should be the end goal, really, is to, like, you see these people like that are making movies or directing movies or like famously, I read a lot of articles about directors of photography and they end up working to like what's his name? The guy that did Skyfall. Roger Deakins he's getting up there in age, but he doesn't care because he's like, I love this job and it gets me up in the morning and I get to go create and I get to work with top tier talent. And that's so cool about, like, that's kind of what we get to do. We can just keep doing this for as long as we possibly want. Or until Tim gets another concussion and just has to go to sleep.
Stop headbutting wine glasses.
Yeah,
Take a nappy nap.
But yeah, but that's really cool. It's not like when Prince passed away, right? Like he was young. He still had a lot of art to create, and that's when it gets kind of sad. Where you're like, oh, it sucks.
This morning when we were talking about it, it was interesting to see more people celebrating, I felt, than like mourning. And like that's, I'm using these terms fast and loose. I mean mourning in like the I'm devastated, I'm shedding. Like Adam West hit me really hard. And I think Adam West hit me really hard because for me personally, it felt like Adam West came out of nowhere. It wasn't like, granted, Adam West was old as well, getting older. But even compared to, he wasn't that, he's younger than Stan.
95 is fucking
exactly.
old.
Like Stan's old, right? And he's like had a life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was, I think,
But
part
like,
of it.
and that's the thing too. That's what's so cool about it is you look at him and I mean, I don't know Stan Lee. I wasn't around him toward the the last few years of like seeing his health deteriorate. But you see a guy that is still going to the Comic-Cons. You see he's still putting out the energy, and it's super cool because it proves to me that if you love something, like it will. Like how many times do you see people or you hear about people who like retire and then pass away very close to that because they have nothing left in life to really look forward to or push them forward. And I think he's another one of those. He's a perfect example of like, if you find the thing that you love and you keep putting passion into that, it'll reinvigorate you and keep pushing you forward. And I think, how many times did you meet him?
I was trying to figure this out today. I was trying to figure this out today if it was 2 or 3 that I worked with him on panels and stuff like that. I think it might have been 2. I
think I shook his hand one time at E3 because he was there for something behind the closed doors. I was like, oh, like we were in one of those little rooms, and I was like, oh, Stanley, hey, big fan. He's like, yeah. That was it.
Yeah. I mean,
like everyone. Yeah, exactly. Like, but he was very nice.
That's what he said.
Knocks you in the face.
Lights a cigar with $100 bill. Fucking runs fast or whatever.
But it's also one of those things. And I mean this obviously in all joking spirit, and it's gonna sound insensitive, but he's been one of those guys that like
old forever.
Ever since I was a kid.
Yeah,
super old.
Oh yeah,
he's a Wilford Brimley.
But it's like, dude, I feel that way too. But there's certain people who are old and have a look to them that even as it ages up, you don't see it as well.
Yeah.
Whereas like when I went back and watched Mallrats, and I was like, man, Stanley's always been old. You turn on Mallrats, like, whoa, no, you were not. I was just a young idiot watching Mallrats.
Well, all the pictures being posted today, like there's some stuff of him in like the 70s, and I'm like, oh my god.
Did you see that? Did you see the clip that someone was passing around where it was him giving feedback to a very, very young Todd McFarlane
and Rob Liefeld too.
Yeah, and they were drawing Overkill,
and they fucking he destroys them. He's like brutal. He's like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that.
Like there's too many things on this guy can't move. You're gonna have to give him jets. It's pretty like kind of tongue in cheek fucking with him, but also giving him like really critical feedback from his perspective. Not really knowing that I don't know at the time if Todd McFarlane was a big deal. I think he worked for them.
Yeah, I think he was an up and comer, but he wasn't Todd McFarlane.
Yeah,
like when I think of that's what I was reflecting on today is like the 2 Stanley stories for me, the first-hand experience, right? Number 1, I was actually in the audience for, or no. Yeah, I was in the audience for it. It was back in the day when, not Marvel Games as it is now, but Marvel Games before that was trying to get a Marvel Games panel, and they came out and talked about a whole bunch of fucking games that never came out. Never even fucking saw that today. But I think Blair might have been Herder. Yeah, from now IGN, formerly G4.
He was on a morning show. That's what people know him for.
Oh, from that, yeah. I was going to say, just a show about his husband.
He was riding a bike or something.
Exactly. I think he was hosting, but I could be wrong on that too. None of this matters, except for the fact that it was this panel of people, and they were doing Marvel games, and eventually, like, 3/4 of the way through the panel, they bring in Stan Lee, and the place goes fucking crazy, of course, because it was a Comic-Con panel, but this is Comic-Con before Comic-Con is Comic-Con, right? Like, it's not like how it is now. You go there, it's everything. This is very much like, we were there for video games and comic books. Hold on. I'm fighting it. I'm not going to win.
I'm yawning.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
And so they bring him in, place goes fucking crazy. They sit him down. He's like, so excited to be here. Excelsior. Place goes fucking crazy. And he's like, thanks. And he adjusts his ear and he sits down. And Blair asked someone a question. Then he's like, well, Stan, what do you think about that? And he turned, it was like this long table full of people. He turns, he's like, what do you think of that, Stan? And Stanley's just looking out the crowd, nodding. And he's like, excuse, again, I think it was Blair. It could have been Stan. And the guy next to him taps him. And Stan like does this. And he's like, sorry, I turned off my hearing aid. He came up, got on the panel, and turned off his hearing aid. Because he's so baller that he's just like, fuck it.
He's like, I don't care.
That's so funny.
It's a video game panel. What can I be asked? Yeah. And totally like, oh shit, sorry. Well, and they asked questions he hadn't answered. It was just great. It was such a genuine moment because like, that's the kind of guy he was.
The only Stan story I have, and I'm not even part of it, but Curran and Shari and my other friend Danny were at dinner in LA one time, like maybe 2 years ago. It wasn't even that long ago. They went to some Italian place and they were eating some pasta and they look over and like, holy shit, that's Stan Lee. And they were freaking out and they're like, did we go say hi? Like, I want to get a picture, but like, I don't want to bother him. Like, he's old and, and also it's just like he's doing his thing.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
And they're like, well, we're not going to give up a chance to get fucking Stan Lee. And they go up to him and he was the coolest.
Yeah.
He was just like, oh my God, thank you for saying hi, like totally in character. And he was like, let's take a picture. And like asked his people to take a picture and did a group picture and then individual pictures with everyone. They were just trying to get one picture, but he was just like, no, let's go. So that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Being 93 or whatever.
Well, that's the thing is you jumped into that. It was Lego Avengers was the panel I hosted that he came on. And that was the whole thing is ahead of time, they're telling me like, all right, we've got, Stan's going to be on it. It's going to be, I'm like, all right, cool. But it's like, Stan's old and it's also Comic-Con, so he can't be up there forever. So he's got a very tight window for when he'll come. I'll come give you a signal. This is my friend Gary, who does PR, had brought me in for the panel. I'm like, sure, no problem, whatever. And so I'm up there. and I'm on the stage, and it's like I think we had teased it, but I don't know. Actually no. I think it was a surprise. I don't think you knew he was going to be there. And so eventually, yeah, like it was earlier than it was supposed to be. I see Stanley standing at the complete other end of the stage, and Gary there. And it was that thing where I forget who was talking, Arthur or whoever from TT Games, or somebody else from just the Marvel team. And like they're in the middle of a story, and it's not a story I'm going to abruptly cut off because it was a good story and all this other stuff. And so I'm like, talking to them, whatever. And then I look back over, and Gary's literally like doing all these, like freaking out. And Stanley, cool as a cucumber next to him. He doesn't give a shit when he goes up, when he gets off, you know what I mean, whatever. And so I was like, hey, Stanley, and the place goes fucking crazy. And he came over and shook my hand and talked to me for a second, and then like, we did the whole panel bit or whatever. But at the end, I got to come off and like, that was a great thing. He's like, oh, thank you, were great. And it's just like, fuck. He was so cool. He was awesome.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. So yeah.
I don't know.
Rest in peace, I guess.
Yeah. I hope they make I hope someone makes a really good documentary about it. I'm sure there are some out there.
Oh, speaking of, I should give a shout out. Charles Jacobson is the one who on Twitter brought this up of like, this should be your topic today, Greg. And I was like, great call, Charles. I forgot, and I meant to say it earlier. But in the same vein, I saw in the chat earlier on for the show, it going by somebody being like, they need to do a biopic with Mark Maron.
Yeah, so
like
what I was saying, where the pictures of him when he was younger, he looks like a young Mark Maron.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Good looking dude.
Yeah.
Mark Maron.
Real good looking.
They should make a movie about Mark Maron's life too.
Everybody watch Mallrats tonight. That's what you do. And also, you know what else they should watch? I think you could probably correct me on this. 90s Spider-Man animated series, the final episode. Is that right? Where Spider-Man meets Stanley?
Is that the final one?
I don't know. I remember Madam Web
That
bringing.
sounds right.
It was like Spider-Verse Gen 1 of like, hey, you're all together, and then
that does sound right.
Dropped them off in different universes and dropped our 90s Spider-Man into our universe where he went and met Stan Lee and swung him around the city, and it was like,
sounds right.
It sounds so corny, but you watching, you're like, this is so good. This is so fucking cool to see Spider-Man meet Stan Lee.
That's the beautiful thing about Stan Lee. It's never corny. Think about every cameo he has in these movies. It is so celebrated, even when sometimes it's like,
Tony Stank.
That's weird.
I was gonna say.
You know what I mean? Like there's some weird stuff, but it always feels right. It always feels so celebrated. And I mean, that's only going to be more true. Like, can you imagine Avengers 4 seeing his cameo?
That place is going to come unglued.
That's going to be an event, or not an event, a Fast and Furious 7 moment of like the Paul Walker like going away, or it's going to be like, oh no.
Well, I'm willing to bet that one of the movies is going to be dedicated to him for sure.
But the next
every single one of them.
And rightfully so. It's just like what an amazing achievement though. Like think about that. If you like, the guy made Spider-Man.
To Can you imagine? Yeah, he created so many heroes, and that's the thing, to sit there and be like,
the X-Men,
if you were
gonna all of these amazing characters.
If you're to have like, and that's the thing is like, granted, I know you're getting at the base level of, or not the base level, but the start of it all, right? So it's easy, but I mean to create all these things, to sit there and be surrounded by your creation.
That's the thing. Like it's easy to make, or I don't want to say easy, but I would bet dollars to donuts that it's easier to come up with an idea for a comic book character now than it was before comics. Like those characters,
nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah, they didn't really know what was going on. Like back when the idea of a comic strip was like Archie, you know, or any of these or Superman was just like this vague notion of this person who's not anywhere close to the evolution of what it is now. Like now you have the sandbox is a lot bigger to play in, but back then, I mean, to look at and like just sit there and go, I'm going to create a group of characters that are the antithesis of everything, and it's going to be a metaphor for the civil rights movement. It's going to be a metaphor for prejudice, and I'm going to utilize this new genre of comic books to get across all of those themes and all of those points. And I'm going to create them. I'm going to call them the X-Men, right? Like that's so fucking amazing. But it's also just, it's like, why I love following that artistic process and seeing that evolution. And that's why I'm like, I mean, I wish I knew more about Stanley because I really don't. But the inevitable Netflix amazing documentary made by Kevin Smith or whoever's going to do it, is going to be fucking awesome.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I've heard the example, like you know, Gary Shandling died, right? And so Judd Apatow, who I didn't realize was mentored by Gary Shandling, and worked on the Gary Shandling or the
Larry
Sanders Show. And all these things, was the perfect person to then go back and make the documentary about his his mentor. What is happening? Are we doing some? Are we going hard?
There's some. What's going on? Are we getting hard?
Hard to hard over.
Is Nick getting hard?
Can you give me a sugar-free Red Bull for this month? Just bring it to me. I'll pour it in. No one touches.
Nobody touches the Fallout koozie. The Fallout
I'm not sure
Pip-Boy
there's coffee left in this or not. But you know, but it's cool. And I'm just fascinated by that process. And it's one of those things where like you look at that guy having met and been able to talk to someone like Kevin Smith and seeing his process and being like around for that, it's just such a unique thing, and it doesn't come across that much that much rather.
Final words on this topic before I'm going to kick it to, where do I want to go next? I'm going to kick it to Tim to lighten the mood. I'm going to read this Stan soapbox. Again, all this stuff's getting kicked around today, but I like this one a lot. Let's lay it right on the line. Bigotry and racism are among the deadliest social ills plaguing the world today. But unlike a team of costume supervillains, they can't be halted with a punch to the snoot or a zap from a ray gun. The only way to destroy them is to expose them, to reveal them for the insidious evils they really are. The bigot is an unreasoning hater, one who hates blindly, fanatically, indiscriminately. If his hang-up is black men, he hates all black men. If a redhead once offended him, he hates all redheads. If some foreigner beat him to a job, he's down on all foreigners. He hates people he's never seen, people he's never known, with equal intensity, with equal venom. Now, we're not trying to say it's unreasonable for one human being to bug another. But although anyone has the right to dislike another individual, it's totally irrational, patently insane to condemn an entire race, to despise an entire nation, to vilify an entire religion. Sooner or later, we must learn to judge each other on our own merits. Sooner or later, if man is ever to be worthy of his destiny, we must fill our hearts with tolerance. For then, and only then, will we truly be worthy of the concept that man was created in the image of God, a God who calls all his children. Pax et Justia. I can't say Latin stuff. Stanley.
Get him, Stan.
Get him, Stan. That was this thing too, you know what I mean? Made all these different heroes and stuff and had like obviously allusions to civil rights and being a better person and, you know, rage versus love and all that jazz. But actually talked about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have a lot of those going around, which is pretty important.
Dope shit.
Tim?
Yes.
What do you got?
So I was in New York this weekend. And
Let's hear it for New York. Remember that song?
Still to be clear, can't say why I was there. But
Really?
yeah.
When? Long time from now? Soonish?
I don't know.
Okay.
I was in New York and I went out with my friend Tone Deaf.
Tone Deaf?
And we were hanging out, doing all right.
Did he take you to the right Patsy's or whatever the fuck? The
No,
Italian
no.
places?
The wrong Patsy's the Patsy to go
It was
to.
good though. And we went to eat, then we got some drinks, and we just kept going and going. Next thing I know, it was like 5 a.m. And we're still drinking. We're still at a bar.
Damn right you are.
And I'm just like, and eventually the dude looks, he's like, hey, like, you guys gotta go. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I look, I'm like, it is 4:40 a.m. And we were at this bar, and I'm like, what time does it close? And he was like, oh, it closes at 4. So like, I've already let you guys just kind of hang out. And I'm like, thinking about like, oh my God, we've just been here probably 8 hours total, just talking, having a great time. But it really made me think, how late do bars need to be open?
Not
You
more.
know, because for a very long time, you know, you look at San Francisco, you're like, oh, it's too, like, it sucks that places
What
close
time?
so
What time's it
early.
close right now here?
2.
2.
San
And,
Francisco-
didn't we vote to
California-
extend that
So
or
that's
something?
the thing. California is 2, but you know, New York City never sleeps. They have 4. Some places can be a little later. In California,
Utah never opens.
basically, there are certain places in California that have special things that they're allowed to stay till 4. But like,
Okay.
it's like 1 per city or something weird like
Okay.
that. And the problem with that is those always end up just being the fight spots.
Sure. Oh yeah.
It's like, because it's everyone going to one place, and that's a sure disaster. But yeah, there was a vote recently, and it's still not fully going through. But the idea is that there's going to be 5-year trial periods given to a bunch of major California cities, including Los Angeles and San Francisco,
Okay.
that are going to push the closing time back to 4 a.m. To see if it can, like, is the nightlife, money, and the economy all there. There's so
course.
much,
Yeah,
so
make a
much
lot more
going
money.
on.
Sure.
So they're trying to test it out, see if it, like, how it affects the economy overall or whatever. And when I heard that, I was like, that's a great idea. Like, why the fuck not? But now that I've actually done it, I'm just like, this is a bad idea.
Is it though?
We do not
Because
need, because the big problem I have is, I was talking to Gia about it, because I was just like, this is crazy that I just left somewhere at 4:40, whatever. When I came home, I was talking to her. She went to school in New York for college. And she was saying the problem is that it just changes your lifestyle.
Yeah.
So especially when you're in
just go out
college,
later.
You go out later.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't start pre-gaming and going out until like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're just postponing everything.
Well, that's the problem though, is like, and this is why I could never wrap my head around the work-life schedule in New York, is because like it cuts off at 2 here. So if you do a happy hour that turns into, oh shit, it's gonna go late, you're still in bed by like 2:30. and if you have to be at work at 9 the next morning, that's fine. If you're leaving a bar at 5 and you got to be at work at 9, that's
Just keep drinking.
brutal. Yeah, just keep going.
Keep going through.
You know, but it's like it reminds me of like we were in Tokyo where they have it timed. I don't know if it's still the case or not, but back when I was there, they had it times like the bars let out like right when the trains started.
Oh, nice.
So like the trains would stop, I think at midnight, but they would start at I want to say like 4 a.m.
Really?
Maybe 2, I don't know. Maybe they stop at like 1 or 2, but then they start back up. So if you didn't have anything to do, you go to a bar, and just hang out for a couple hours, and then go to the train. I might be getting that totally wrong time wise, but I remember that's what someone told me. But I get it and I understand it, but it's to me it opens up the bigger issue of like why do we have time limits for drinking anyway at bars? And if it's, I get it if your bar is like near a residential area and you're like, we don't want people raging until 6 a.m. But like,
that though, how many times do you leave a bar or restaurant? It's like for the courtesy of our neighbors, please keep it down. It's like it's because these people are fucked. I feel bad for them.
Oh
but,
yeah,
you guys
like
coming out to smoke, wasting, screaming.
We used to go to the Brixton back when I smoked, and we'd sit outside for hours. Until easily till 1:30, and we just order rounds of drinks and smoke cigarettes. And if it was a nice night, it would be great. You know, people would walk by. We'd inevitably bring people from the outside inside. It would be a big party, and then eventually they closed down that patio because people in the neighborhood were complaining about it. And I'm like, but it's still loud as fuck. Like, all the windows are still open. Like, you're still hearing all of that, and that's what you get if you live on a busy street. Like, if you live on Union Street in San Francisco, like. It's all shops and bars. You're not gonna be able to sleep. Period. Yeah. But it's weird. It's just kind of weird to me that they put those like you can't buy alcohol past 2 in California. Why? Like, what is that 4-hour gap really getting anyone? Like when they start selling it at 6. What's the?
Well, I think
it's sending people to sleep.
I think it's a problem with people getting too rowdy and like things becoming too much of an issue.
I don't know, but it's one of those things. Like, but it's just it seems so arbitrary to me because I feel like it's an all or nothing thing, right? Like if they're gonna put some laws, but you can just go back to your house and keep drinking. You're gonna have alcohol there, so what the fuck does it matter? Who cares? And you're just gonna make more money off these people. Like I'm all for letting the bar stay open until 4 because we're just gonna California's gonna make a shitload of money off of people who just want to drink, and that's totally fine. I got no problem with that. It's like when they were like, "Oh, we're going to raise the price of cigarettes." I'm like, "Well, cool. If you're going to smoke, that's what you're going to, you're going to put the money towards on that anyway. So who cares? Might as well make money off of it." That's why I voted for legalized marijuana. I don't care about weed, but sure, fuck it. People are going to do it anyway. Like, let them make some money off of it.
Yeah,
who cares?
Exactly.
Mike, so what's it like in Utah?
So Utah's actually not that bad. Most
Polar
bars
opposite.
Most bars are open till 2.
Okay.
The buying the liquor separate out of the bar is where it gets tough because all the liquor stores are state owned.
Okay.
And it's Monday through Saturday, obviously closed Sunday.
That shit's weird. Boston's like that too.
Up until recently, you couldn't even buy beer in a grocery store on a Sunday. Like that was outlawed. Every other day of the week, totally fine.
But why? Because it's God's day? Is that why? That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's some ancient carryover law, right?
It's so
some
strange.
ancient carryover law, and unfortunately, not so ancient. Not to go too far out on a political soapbox, but my state is run by a church.
Yeah.
The separation of church and state does not exist there.
Is Utah predominantly Mormon?
Yes. Yeah. But it's nice. We're getting a lot of new tech companies out there. So, the swing from, predominantly Mormon to not has been huge over the last few years. So laws are starting to change. Just recently, we voted to legalize medicinal marijuana, or at least put it on the ballot, which in my state's unheard of.
Sure, that's a huge step, right?
Yeah. So it's making changes, but yeah, as far as closing times go, 2 o'clock is pretty typical there. Yeah. I was down in Arizona a couple years ago on ASU campus. One of the biggest party schools in the nation.
Sun Devils.
And we ran into so many bars that were closed at like 1. I'm like, what is this?
I don't know. Like, I don't go out ever, and when I do, I'm certainly not closed. I haven't closed down a bar in years, probably.
Let's take this back. I was like 23, 24 at the time.
No,
I was doing this.
So I totally get it. Like, I know that I just say, hey, let the bar stay open. I totally understand why they have the limits. Like, you can't, like, you have to curb it off for people at a certain point. But I just think that some of these things are just very, very weird. Like, the sale of alcohol is weird as well. Of like, you can't buy it in a store and take it home with you. Strange to me. Weird.
No, I agree. I mean, there are all those things you run into. Like, wait, why is this section closed? Well, especially when we're visiting somewhere else. You just have a drink. Have a drink. Yeah, of course. When we're out there, visiting a new place, and we do try to go to a grocery store, and it is that the liquor store is closed off. You're like, well, oh, right, that's one of these places. That's a weird place.
What's
in Quebec or in Montreal, like when we're gonna grab a bottle of wine. It's like, all right, we'll just pop off at a store, and Jen's like, well, no, I want to get I want to get a bottle of liquor too, so we have to go to I think it's SAQ, which is like the government run liquor store. Like, oh, this is so weird.
Yeah.
What are the laws in Vegas? Because I feel like you can
I was gonna say, are there laws in Vegas?
But like, are there times when you can't buy alcohol in a casino in Vegas? There's got to be right?
No.
I think you can always drink, right?
Hold on. If you're buying alcohol in a casino, you're doing it wrong.
Oh no! By that I mean like in my fantasy, I'm crushing into blackjack, right?
And you're just getting
all the honeys
drinks.
are around me,
all the honeys,
and I'm just like, hit me, and they're like, don't, and I'm like, come on, I know,
can't.
and they hit.
Sir, you have a 20.
I can't.
Oh,
So I'm showing a soft 18, and you have a 20. You're winning. I can't have this. Hit me again.
I can't play blackjack around honeys. I lose way too much money because I get way too easily distracted.
Don't play blackjack. Period. I'm the worst. I'm one of those people that I've said it before. I was like, I take everyone's bad luck when it comes. Like my friends love gambling with me.
You want to go to Vegas?
Because they will all win. No.
My brother lives there. We've got a place to crash.
No, I hate it. I hate gambling. I don't like it. But I do like I'll find, they don't exist anymore, but back in the day, you used to be able to go to like the shittier part of Vegas downtown, and you find like the $1 blackjack table where it's only $1 to buy in per hand, and you could play for a lot of hours, have fun, smoke cigarettes, and get the free booze, the watered down shitty free booze. Of course. And now I just can't do it.
None about that sounds appealing.
Well, no,
to
but I don't mind playing a game here and there and hanging out like at the table because it's fun, it's exciting. Yeah. But the minimum buy-in at every fucking hotel I go to is like $20. And I'm like, I don't want to pay $15-20 a hand. Like that's not. I could go to the bar and for the amount of money that I'm spending here in an hour, I could get shit-balled all night.
You're staying at too high-end of places.
I'm at the fucking Luxor or like Mandalay Bay.
Hit up the Hooters.
The Hoots?
The Hooters Hotel.
They do have
play the penny slots,
chips.
and you're gonna get free drinks all night and use pennies.
Though. I like to have a little bit of like. In my brain, I'm like, oh, if I just try real hard, the strategy of this game will allow me to win.
Risk big, win get big.
I mean, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but
risk big, lose big is me.
Current and longest running kind of funny world champion.
It's true. You're on a streak of good luck right now. You know what I mean?
Crushing it.
Yeah, you are
all day long.
Why is it on Kevin's desk then?
That's where it wants to say.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, it's in for repairs right now. Kevin is the belt repairman,
and
it's up on the lift. The belt, I don't know if you know about it, falls apart every time we lift it up. Because it's all of those badges are on that belt are just hung with double stick tape. Don't know why.
We rushed it. We had to rush it for Kind of Funny Live.
Like, hey,
yeah,
you do this
big problem.
weeks, that usually takes 6 months.
When do you want the? Where do you
come? It's not so much
to?
about wanting. It's just like because I guess you just like what you're used to. So to me, I'm like 2 a.m. feels right. Now that I'm older, now that I can like kind of see this whole thing, because it's not so much that I need to keep drinking all night. It's nice having a place to be that you're allowed to just be and hang out and talk. Yeah. Like what we used to treat Starbucks like growing up. With your friends in college, you're just sitting there. It's like we'll be here talking all night. I was with Tone Deaf. We didn't need to be drinking. A lot of the time we weren't drinking. We were just sitting there talking. It was cool to have a place. But again, it's more the problem of if you are planning to go out, then it just pushes everything back. And because of that, I'm just like, I don't like that. If I'm trying to get my dance on, I don't want to have to leave at like 11 p.m.
Your dance on?
No, that's the nicer thing about it of it closing early. Like it's just, I feel like it just curbs you in a way. And I'd definitely been there in the younger days of like, somebody comes to visit from Chicago or whatever. And it's like, all right, cool. And we'd go out and then they close up like, it's closing already. It's like, yeah. But hey, we don't have an excuse. I don't need an excuse to stay out anymore. We just go home. You know what I mean? Like it's over. This mission is over. We've accomplished all we can. But it's like, in terms of, I've closed bars down recently in San Francisco. I forget for what though, but it's just because I do think they close early enough where it's just like, you're just out and you're talking, you're hanging out, and it's over. Like, oh, it's time to go. But it's such a young person's game that I'm just not a part of anymore. I don't care.
I've closed them down by drinking them out of vodka and tequila before. With old company, couple bars in Vegas.
When did you switch over to the Tito's vodka and Monsters?
Mom and Dad, if you're watching, don't listen. 16 years old.
Damn, son. All right.
Well, that was the vodka Monster start. One of my old bosses turned me on to Tito's, and I just haven't looked back.
I like the vodka Monster. That's
I think
it's great.
Me and my friends do a thing most Tuesday nights where we go to this establishment, as you mentioned earlier, Hooters, to eat because they have unlimited wings. I hate the fucking food. I'm going to be real upset at before. James Burke, big fan. No surprise.
Hey,
Hey,
Hooters.
Gotta go to the Hoot Hoot.
Gotta watch the game.
I hate
It's
you so
on.
much. But yeah, they all like the sports. They all like the stuff. We close that motherfucker down almost every week. Like, without fail.
But I feel like that's a little bit more telling of like how difficult it is to have a social life as an adult that doesn't revolve around some sort of alcoholic event, right?
Yeah.
Like
Or unlimited wings.
Yeah, well, that's fair. I mean, who doesn't like that? But like, I miss the days where I used to go out. Like, I didn't have any money, so we didn't want to go drink because we didn't have any fucking money after college. But we'd go and just sit at an all night. There was a coffee shop in Newport that was open until 2. That was awesome. I'm like, oh, I don't have to. I could buy a cup of coffee or a couple of coffees here and there. We played some Trivial Pursuit, smoked cigarettes, relax, just enjoy each other's company. And I just don't think we have that outlet in the city anymore.
Unless it's Starbucks.
How old are
But
you?
they're only open to like, you know,
There's a- I mean,
you
there's
can't really sit up
45.
like, you know, I don't know.
There's
There's a couple that are opening up.
The Westlake one's 24 hours. And the
but
San
it's
Bruno
just
one.
a good bar. In that, granted, this is also I think the difference here in terms of like how late they should stay open, right? Because like whenever we go out to bars, right, we want to go to a place with good drinks that's quiet enough for us to speak at.
That's the thing.
Remember that time we were marching around Austin during RTX, miserable.
Andy's most famous tweet.
Oh
Where
yeah,
he was
yeah,
like
yeah.
$1 billion idea, a bar
Yeah.
that plays music half the
as
levels
loud.
than
Yeah,
other
yeah,
bars.
everybody else.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But
And
it's like that you're looking at, but like to your point of how hard it is over the weekend. Yeah, Jen and I went and saw a movie on Saturday, but it was I think of like Friday. It was too late to book tickets, so we booked something for Saturday. And it's like, yeah, we should. I still feel like doing something tonight though, right? And it was like, all right, we can go to Benjamin Cooper's, we can get a drink or whatever. And she's like, yeah, but I don't want to drink. And then it was that thing of like, huh, well, I don't really know what to do. Like I can get us out of the house to drink or eat, but we already ate and nobody wants to drink. So
Well, that's why I really like Yancey's, the bar. Because
Yeah, the
it's
Sunset Bar.
Yeah, it's in the Sunset, and you can bring your own food. You can bring your own anything, really.
But
They don't
sorry,
care.
go ahead.
And it's quiet enough that like you can just chill and talk. We hung out there.
Yeah,
last
yeah,
time
with Eric. That was fun.
It's just like that's probably my favorite place because it's never too crowded. Really,
I've definitely been to Yancey's. Yancey's is still close enough to
I've seen it pretty
UCSF
crowded.
where it's like
Yeah.
that can turn
yeah.
into a college bar. It isn't always. Don't get me wrong, but I've definitely been in there. What is it? Asses to elbows is what where it's just like you're slammed. It's a million degrees. I'm like, this sucks.
I do remember a couple. I mean,
Much
this
like
was
the
years
studio
ago,
right now.
But I do remember because back in the back when before Uber, Yancey's was I think a lot more packed because people just didn't want to leave the inner Sunset because
Well,
they couldn't get back.
As Scott Bromley used to always call it, it was like the Sunset in general was cab kryptonite.
Yeah, it really
where you
was.
would call a cab and 95% of them cabs ain't ever getting to you.
Like you'd call and order one, and they just wouldn't
They'd
show
start
up
out there and they'd
sometimes.
see somebody, they'd pick them up and be like, fuck you.
But
I'm
I
not
do
going.
remember
God, I
like the
love
one or
Scott
two times
Bromley.
that I ventured out there to hang out with Eric because Eric used to live like he just walked down from wherever the hell he lived. And that we would be. I do remember distinctly being hammered playing darts, and just everyone was packed in. And It was just loud and fun. But yeah, I mean, the last few times that we went out there, it was very chill, and that's a perfect example of like I yearn for. Hey, let's all go to a place, sit down at the place, play dominoes, and just.
Or Ghostbusters in
Hang
the
out.
house.
Jesus Christ. Okay, you play Trivial Pursuit at coffee shops.
Yeah.
And you play dominoes at bars.
I'm awesome.
How the fuck old are you?
Dominoes is an amazing game.
Timeless.
It's timeless.
You set them up, you knock them over. They go
Wait,
ding, ding,
No,
ding,
that's
No,
not how you
no,
play
that's
with
not
you.
what he means,
Let's do it.
Greg.
Let's go to Yancey's and do it, Greg.
Let's do that.
All right, back off. We're building out this domino set.
Or like honestly, like go just even going
They
and
have
sitting
shitty
and playing,
carpet
like,
too, so it's
playing
all like-
spades or playing hearts. Like those are
Jesus
the times-
Christ, those are also old people
They're
games.
great games. Well, they're all game. Whatever. Fucking pick a game that you like to play. Monopoly. It doesn't matter. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I miss that. I don't have that in my life. Right. Like where we have a destination. Where the other day I was getting my car washed. And I went to there's a tabletop gaming shop over on Divisadero. I forget what it's called. And I walked in and there was just a bunch of people there playing fucking everything, Magic, whatever. Like, and I'm like, and I asked the guy, I was like, oh, do you guys ever throw live events here? Because I'm like, this would be a cool kind of meet and greet place. And the guy's like, we're packed constantly. We're packed until it opened. Until the second we open, second we close, packed. And I'm like, I know exactly why because it's nice to have a local like club that you can meet at that doesn't revolve around what. What are you talking? Do one other drink? Oh, I'm feeling sick. Maybe I get pizza. I'm gonna feel like shit tomorrow. Like, no, this is you can just cool and
Chill out,
hang out
yeah,
with your
yeah.
friends, but it's not at home.
Do you
feel like
remember
have a
out by
social
the
life.
old studio in the Sunset, there was that taqueria place that and it was also a German restaurant for a short bit, and we're like, this is a front for drugs because it was always dead and then closed down sometimes, then reopened and shit like that. Next to the Alfredo
door to my
and-
cafe.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the cafe he used to work
yeah,
at.
they switched
the,
that over.
The mob bot.
They switched that over to a board game, come in and play, and we'll make you waffles place.
And it's the same shit.
And every time I walk by that thing, man, it's jamming.
Yeah,
People
it
are
makes
all
sense.
over it.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's different than back home. Nobody goes to those board game places at home.
Really?
And nobody goes to bars either, though. I mean, the drug of choice back home is movies.
Meth. Oh.
That's fun.
I'm meth, I'm sure, somewhere.
I mean, we still have that too, right? Like, I still really do enjoy going to movies, stuff like that, and that's why it is fun to be able to go to like Alamo, even though I know Kevin hates the light.
I hate that light so much.
Hates it so much, but like Alamo's fun because it is sort of it's more than a movie. You go, you can have a cocktail if you want in the bar beforehand.
dinner, you hang
can have dinner. It feels like people just go to that bar to hang out and be
The
around
best thing
it.
about Alamo is that bar. That bar is dope as
the
fuck.
Baron Bolo, what it's called?
Yeah, Baron Bull.
Did
Yeah.
they fix their wings? I know you had an issue with the wings.
They did. They got
So
them
much
back
so
on
that
track.
like my wife and I like to go. 'Cause she likes wings. We have a date on Saturday to go to Bohemian Rhapsody and get wings.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Wait.
it's funny because
Don't
that.
watch it at Alamo though.
What's that?
Watch it in Dolby.
Let him just be, Tim.
Do it.
Can we enjoy
Okay.
something without
That's a
you
good-
and
gotta
do it,
Kevin
man.
noting
That's a good
everything to
point.
death?
You got to do it.
So for the meal, no, for the sound on this one, Tim's right. It's
Sure,
probably gonna
but
have
for
a
the
really good time.
wings, there you go. It's gonna be a
And the
tough call.
gigantic refillable Diet Cokes that they give you that I drink so many of them I get cold. I'm like, don't break any.
My core,
Give me
my
one
core
more.
is so cold. No, it's funny you bring that up because movies were the thing of hey, we're kids and we're underage and we can't do this, and we'd pop over to the Steak and Shake and hang out there way too long or whatever at Denny's. But like
Fuck
it
you, the
was
Steak and
every
Shake.
Friday and Saturday going to the movies. Cantera AMC 30 out in a little bit Naperville area, Warrenville.
How often were movies sold out when you were growing up? Like, day a movie comes out, could you get tickets that day?
No, not a chance.
I went to see Gladiator the day it came out, and I had to sit. It was the day that I discovered I don't like the front row because I had to sit in the front row to watch Gladiator, and all I saw was just a blur of color because the screen was so big at the Irvine Spectrum that it was just like I think that's Russell Crowe's tricep, but I'm so fucking close to the screen right now that I can't see anything.
Well, that's the best thing about these new, like the recliners.
Yeah.
There's not a bad seat in the house. Like the front
Yeah.
row is still the
Not
worst.
great, yeah, but
dude, when you're reclined, it's like
Not bad.
it's totally fine.
I had a trip this weekend because the movie we went and saw was mid '90s, and the only place that we could get in to see it was and so yes, growing up I did go to the movies did sell out, and it would be that panic of like, oh, my sister isn't working until noon, can she go buy us all tickets and we'll give her money? You know what I mean?
See, I'm just curious because back home, before like assigned seating, you would have to line
God,
up
that
3-4
shit-
hours.
yeah,
in
but I used,
advance.
to, but I used to love that.
But I
used to
came out-
love that when I
hated
was a
that
kid.
shit.
We came out
Nick
here and we saw the Batman movie,
Suicide Squad.
the one with the Joker in it. Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah.
Night.
No, Dark Knight. Yeah.
Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight.
We saw that one opening day, and we're all from Utah, so we're like, shit, we need to get in line 4 hours early. We sat in line for 3 hours before anybody else showed up behind us, and they're like, yeah, that's just not a thing here.
Really?
No,
Yeah,
we would.
and that was down in,
definitely happened
Newport.
here. That definitely happened here.
You went to Newport in SoCal? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I go to Newport. My family typically goes once a year.
Did you see Did you see it at the big theater in Newport? The big.
The one
big
by Fashion Island.
Yeah, there's 2 theaters there. Did you see it in the one that's like the biggest screen on the fucking
Yes.
planet?
Yep.
That's where I saw the Phantom Menace, and I camped out for like 9 hours beforehand, and boy, that wasn't worth it. Before I move on with this, I do want to get this stupid joke out. Tim, would you say you're a member of the reclining community?
Oh, Jesus God, that was that.
Jesus.
If you want to rewind the video, you can see Nick touch my arm to try
I
to
wanted
stop
it.
the conversation
I wanted
to
it
insert
so
that
bad.
gem.
I
To
would say it,
insert
though, Nick.
that
I
gem.
would say it.
But no, I went and saw mid '90s, right? And it was
Magic Man.
again. I have taste, and I try to only see movies at Alamo, the best theater in San Francisco. And so going to the Metreon again or whatever, and getting that popcorn and like getting a bottle of water, I found myself in the middle of that movie craving a Coke so bad. Because I don't drink soda ever, but back when me and my friends in the mid '90s would go to the movies all the fucking time, you'd have that super fucking salty popcorn like this one was,
Oh, yeah.
and like you'd have that Coke, and it was just such a weird thing of like this juxtaposition of my adult life mashed up with like everything we used to do on Fridays and Saturdays.
Oh, dude, I used to go with my buddy Stu.
Stu,
And here's what we would do. We were like maybe, I want to say 13 or 14. We would go to the Canyon Crest Town Center, and there was a comic book shop there. There was a video shop there. There was a coffee shop and candy shop, and that would be the round. We would just do you would do the whole round, and then you'd go to the movie, and then mom and dad would pick you up or whatever. We may or may not have smoked a couple cloves back then because cloves were like
God,
the cool thing to do.
cloves were the shit in high school.
So great. And there was always a security guard that I think we went to school with his daughter that would catch us, but he would let us off because we went to school with the daughter.
Nice.
Also, we did not realize at the time he had no authority over anyone because but he had a golf cart, which made him like back in the day when you're a kid and an adult is in a golf cart, that's like
A golf cart
They
and
might
a
as well be
badge?
the fucking FBI.
Yeah.
Even though the badge says rent a cop.
Yeah, I mean,
you're still
I don't
scared.
think this guy even wore a badge. I think he had shorts on. He was just like, "Stop doing what you're doing." I'm like, "No." He's like, "Ah, fuck it." God
Damn.
That happens. There's a scene with that in mid-90s.
I actually really want to see that movie because that was like
it's a time
my
period.
childhood.
That's the weird thing about it is that it's a time period for sure, and you feel it oozes that period of time. But then the lives they are living aren't the lives I was living or something
That's
like that.
the Jonah Hill one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's all these touchstones to it, and I definitely knew people like them in it or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's like still the adolescents coming of age trying to join a new group of friends that everybody gets, but then it is mashed up with I had those Ninja Turtle sheets. I had that Hulk Hogan pillow
So
pad.
8th grade, but in the 90s.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and even in 8th grade, I was watching. I'm like, I get this movie. I feel,
God,
I feel this movie
I
right now.
connected way too much
Yeah,
to
yeah,
that movie.
I second it. It was either we were gonna watch either 8th grade or The Spy Who Dumped Me over the weekend.
I think you took the wrong choice.
I absolutely did not take the wrong choice.
Have you
because
seen 8th grade?
Not yet, and I do want to see it, and I know it's going to be really good.
really
But
good.
for the vibe of the weekend, eating pizza and fudge, I was like, I feel like
Pizza
The
fudge.
Spy Who Dumped Me
My
is going
favorite.
to be... It was pizza first.
Was
then fudge,
this a stuffed
then
crust
me.
fudge pizza?
No, I was up in Tahoe. We ordered it from this place called, I think it was called Best Pies. And I wanted a, you know, there was
So
like,
like, Mike, I'm gonna need a rating on Best Pies.
oh, he'll tell you.
I'm gonna need to check
one,
that
you
it's
can-
actually
you wanna
called
call
Best
Snowbike
Pies.
Mike right now?
I don't know if I have his number.
Oh
His
man,
number.
Oh no,
I was gonna say one of us does.
I want to call Snowbike Mike and get the rating on that, but I messed up because. Oh, here we go.
Well, I mean, you can keep talking. You know how ringing.
I don't want to.
James Miller, what is going on?
Snowbike Mike, you are on the Game Over Greggy show. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm watching live right now because I support you all
Hi, Mike.
on Patreon.
Great.
Hey.
Did the YouTube catch up yet? Do you know what the question's gonna be?
No, the YouTube is not caught up. I'm still listening to Nick talk about the spy who dumped me.
It's about to happen. Then hold on. We'll wait.
I'm not watching at the
Oh,
same
okay,
time.
I'm sorry. We need to know how Best Pies in Tahoe. Good pizza.
Oh, good pizza up here. You got the Lake Tahoe Pizza Co. Or you got my favorite, Benny's Pizza. Now, if you drop the name Snowbike Mike, he'll give you an extra large pie for $10 and a 2-liter.
So-
You gotta drop the name though.
So
Wait,
what-
now hold on. Is that just a reoccurring deal?
That's the deal if you know Snowbike Mike.
Damn. All right. You're selling me on this place.
You guys want to go to Tahoe for pizza tonight?
Nick's trying to say he ate at a place called Best Pies.
I think that's what it was called.
So Nick was up in North Lake. He's not down in my hood. I'm on the South Shore. He's
Right,
up
right, right.
there where people wear Patagonia. They're wearing North Face.
Patagooch.
That is like the upper echelons. That's California luxury is where Nick was.
Gotcha. Thank you. Okay, now I understand.
I did walk in. Hey, it's not about bike. It's Nick. I did walk in, and there was a guy who was in a Patagonia vest, but also had like an Under Armour thing. Looked like he was a doctor, and he was complaining that the phones weren't working well when he called in. He complained to everyone that walked up to him about the phones, and I was like, bro. You
Welcome-
got to just back it off a little bit.
Welcome
We're
to my
in Tahoe.
job.
Oh, no. He was like, oh, I had a problem with the phones earlier today, and I wondering if you're the person to talk to. And the manager's like, no. I'm not the guy to talk to. I just walked away. And then eventually, I was there for so long, we got to the meat of it, was that the manager accidentally hung up on him. And that's what the guy was pissed off
Nice.
about. Apologies were given all around.
All right, Snowbike Mike, thanks for the pizza update, and thanks for the shirt. It's very comfortable. I like it.
You're the best. I was just going to say, before you two go, big shout out to my man, Mike, right next to you on your right-hand side. And, of course, you, Greg Miller, for rocking that sweet, sweet, sweet Snowbike Mike merch.
Snowbike Mike, where can they get this shirt?
Hey, you can get that shirt right now on streamlabs.com/Snowbike Mike, or you can go to my Twitch channel right now and click on the button that says merch.
Thank you, Snowbike Mike. Go have fun.
See you guys. Have a great night.
All right,
See you,
bye.
Mike.
What a piece of shit. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There are so many charlatans in the Kind of Funny community.
Yeah.
He's one of them.
He's
like a cultist in Assassin's Creed. We're going to unveil one day and be like, it was Snowbike Mike all along.
Only Snowbike Mike could we call and talk about pizza in Tahoe and him give you.
Of course he's gonna do
fucking
that.
special. But here's the special.
Here's the deal.
Drop the name Snowbike Mike.
I feel like Snowbike Mike is an untapped resource.
I love
That's
that
what
man.
I feel
I
like.
love that
He
man
is
so much.
that man. I feel. I mean, Tim is hype.
Thank you.
Snowbike Mike is
It's a
the
whole
hype
level.
embodied.
He's
Like,
ultra hype.
holy shit.
He got that sport thing going. You know
He's
what I mean?
just
Well, I mean, aside from the sport thing, just the first 5 minutes of his stream, which is the same thing every single night, I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I wish I had half your energy.
Yeah.
He's just beautiful. I wish I could redo last weekend so I could go get that deal on that pizza. Because
Well,
I
I've said
wanted
it
to be able to
before.
drop Snowbike Mike's name and get a hookup.
We
The
said it
fudge
before, we
stuffed
say it
crust?
again. We need Kind of Funny retreat up there, where we just go up there and we just
so-
chill in Tahoe for a weekend.
Remind me about
long
that.
weekend.
Remind me about that.
Okay.
Why don't
I
you
got a
guys
pitch-
just do
I got
it?
a pitch for you.
Okay.
Why don't you guys just do a Kind of Funny retreat in Mike's living room? all of you crash on his floor and couches.
Sure.
He'll show you around.
Sure.
What's that? Oh no, I was gonna say we got a TP Mike's house. No, I'll talk to you guys off air.
Okay.
But yeah, I got an idea for you guys.
If it doesn't end with us wasted in our underwear, me wearing that Panther hat that he has, or helmet head.
Remember the time we got fucked up on hot toddies in Toronto?
How can I forget?
That's us. That's what we're always gonna do.
Even when we got wild and crazy and went back to our rooms at 9:30 or
It was,
whatever.
you know what it was? I was like, Greg, this is great. We're having a great time right now. And then we went out into the cold and it sobered us up real fast.
Yeah, that'll
It's so
happen.
cold out here right now.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That'll happen.
do you want to ski when we do this?
I'm down for either one, water ski
I
or
think-
snow
think you need
bikes.
to snow. Yeah,
Yeah,
snow
you
bike.
want some snow stuff, you think? Yeah.
I think you need to get wasted, get in your underwear, and ride down the hill on the snow bike.
Can we have one of those cool cabins that has the hot tub outside and they're like we're surrounded by snow, but we're there too?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Oh
do
my
that.
God, holiday party.
What does she want? What is she
Don't
doing?
worry about
interrupting
Andrew
the
Renee.
show?
Don't worry about what Andrew Renee's hitting me up about on this show. Don't look at my phone, sir.
Can I text her back on your phone?
No, you may not, sir.
Send her a
Sir?
picture of
Send her a picture of Nick's face.
That's fine. Yeah, you're allowed to send back one of those close-up face photos you do.
Oh, Nick.
All right, while you do
fucking
that,
monster.
Nick, you know how to use that, right? Mike/Toggle.
Si, senor.
The time has come. What's your topic?
My topic is you guys' creative process, specifically Nick's, because I feel like I've heard more about his than anything. But I mean, obviously there's thought that goes into kind of funny.
Sure.
Is that obvious?
How much of it, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much is, off the cuff. I'm sure 99% of it.
Well, you were in the pre-pro plans. You know this was happening. We were like, what we got to do? Beer and a Fallout thing. That was the whole. That was the show.
That was the
Grand
whole
plan of the day.
pre-production.
Andrew Renee texted back the poop emoji.
That's not. That's. I feel like that's disrespectful on a different level.
That is.
But I'll
I'm
take
sorry.
that up with her when she's back in this week.
Tomorrow.
But, specifically, I mean, how do you guys come up with certain things? You on the show last week, has it gone live public, the two of you? Or is it just Patreon?
By the time this goes live, it'll be live.
Okay.
Sure.
You talked a little bit, especially about the showcase.
The last game over, Greggy.
Yeah, where you were like, oh yeah, me and Tim need to get together and put together what we want to do. And
We are. We did.
We did half of it. Tonight's the second half.
Yeah, and the first half's good.
The first half fucking killed it.
Yeah.
But I feel like, sorry, finish this
No, you're
because I
fine.
feel like it's a great jump off point.
But I'm just curious, what you guys do to get in the mood for that, or to keep going with that, or like Nick with his stand up or his screenwriting.
Sure.
Because I do work a full-time job, but I'm also learning to make video games. I'm an artist. I am attempting to write, and I just, my creative process for everything is different. So I'm curious what you guys do to get in that quote unquote creative mindset.
I would say the number one tool we use is we just commit to something and then go.
You announce
"Fuck,
it, right?
We gotta do that thing.
You announce a showcase
That's
and
how
said,
the
"Shit, I gotta
showcases
do
worked,
it."
right? The showcase was a thing that we announced, and I was like, I hope people support it. Got way too much support. Ignored emails for 10 days. Finally started getting. And it wasn't like I was doing it to be a dick. I'm just buried in my regular work.
Yeah.
And then started getting back into it, and then it was putting on the calendar what every day was. And you were here. Or you've been here today. Today's Kind of Funny Games Showcase day, where today was the deadline.
Yeah.
Wink, nod of the deadline to get your asset in.
Yeah.
A lot of people have asked for extensions, obviously, but a lot of people didn't, and I didn't think about it. So today, when I open my email and it's like, oh wow, I have 13 trailers and montage clips and all the stuff
Yeah.
I'm getting in, footage I haven't seen, and we watched one of the trailers back there, and I was like, holy shit, this is actually
for
way
sure.
better than we thought it was going to be. Insane. By the way, that person is a one-man development crew.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You know who it is if you're
Wow.
watching. That we talked about this because I hit him up to clarify that. So he was
That's
like
really impressive.
and it's really adorable because again, like I told you, he didn't have the trailer ready to show. So I was like, well, yeah, you're tentative or whatever. And then he sent it in. I was like, holy shit, how many people worked on this? And we're just talking. And finally, like 7 emails in, he's just like, so yeah, just let us know if we're in the thing or not. And I'm like, oh no, you're sorry, dude. I thought no, you're fucking in. No, this is amazing. You're
Yeah,
in. Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
you get to be
Awesome.
For
you get to be
sure.
in it for sure. But yeah, it's giving yourself real deadlines, and not even real deadlines. There's such a difference between, hey, I want to do this, my comic book for Superman, and hey, it's the job and I'm doing it, right? Where it's like Superman has become awesome. I want to do that. And the comic book club for a long time was like, oh, I started this and I wrote this and blah, blah. And then it was like, well, now the games are starting to come. Oh, I had this event, blah, blah. And now it's like, are you fucking? I don't even bother making excuses on the show. I'm like, it's fucking. I'm dying. I don't have time to write this comic book. You know what I mean? In a perfect world, I'd love to have it on January 5th, right? As my New Year's resolution and stuff, but I don't think it'll be the full thing. But again, will I even do that? Because Showcase is on top of me. You know, spending time with my wife is on top of me. Playing video games is on top of me for the job and the regular day-to-day. Like, it's prioritizing, and that's what gets prioritized up. And so I totally hear you of, cool, it's not my job, right? You have to do all that same stuff, but with your career, and then also free time and family and everything else. How do you then go and make the side stuff you want to do, right? Trying to make a game, all stuff. And it's however much you ever put into it is how much you'll get back. And I think for me personally with the comic book thing, it is that of I've never, oh man, it'd be cool to write a comic book, right? And like as soon as I started talking about it, so many different people in the real comics industry started talking to me about, like, man, you should really write something. We'd love talking, blah, blah, blah.
I was gonna say your comic book idea is fucking genius.
Thank you. But it was that thing of real quick. I remembered why this didn't work for me before I made the YouTube channel. Right. I always tell that story that I was looking for a creative outlet, and I thought about comics, and I thought about a children's book, and it ended up being YouTube. And where it was, all of a sudden, I'm up at 6 a.m. for every video I post. I'm making all this content. I'm taking days off of work to edit all the stuff because that was a passion for me. Whereas the comic thing wasn't a passion for me. And so right now, it is that thing of everything always going to the back burner because this is my passion and making all this stuff happen. So it's a lot of it's jumping out of the plane, but then it's also jumping out of the plane and realizing, like, oh, well, the comic thing is just going to be me hitting the ground because right now it's not what I'm not prioritizing that part of it.
Yeah. I feel like it's jumping out of the plane and knowing that, to keep this metaphor going, that we kind of have other superheroes that can fly in and help make sure that we don't just hit the floor. Where it's like between the people that we have at Kind of Funny, every time that we set out to do something, I feel back in the day, it was a lot more like people doing their own thing and trying to like get it all done by themselves. But in the last couple of years, we have been really good about working with each other and we know exactly what people are good or bad at. And we just go to the thing that they're good at. And then we work together. And it's like, I can start working on a project knowing it has glaring holes because I know you guys are going to fill the holes. And it's like, you can kind of plan around that. But like for me, anytime there's a creative vision that we need to work on, anytime there's a project that I want to get out there, my favorite part, I think the most important part is everything Greg's saying is absolutely correct. You need to have the deadlines. You need to have a skeleton and a schedule and work backwards from the end goal and figure out all the things you need to do. But for me, it's really about coming up with the ideas and then talking it out with people. Like pitching people things before you act on things, before you start actually doing the stuff. Like forever, me and Kevin going to dinner, and I'm talking now like 10, 15 years ago, like before IGN, before all that, it would just be like running ideas by him and like going back and forth trying to like figure it out. And then when we're at IGN, that was just even more of that. And then with Kind of Funny, it's like there's not a lunch that goes by that's not me and Nick working through something.
Yeah, just talking about fun stuff. And that's the thing too, is like one of the other, I think, really big tools that I see a lot of people having as a deficit, like they don't have, is that accountability is a big thing, and accountability can come in a lot of forms, but one of which is another person. So if you're a writer, I found that the times that I've written most or collaborated or had the most output was when there was someone else that I felt like I was letting down if I didn't do my job. And so if you want to be a screenwriter or something like that, and you have friends that want to do that, maybe be open to collaborating with them and saying, hey, let's write something together. We can set a date on the calendar every week where if you're going to back out of that you're letting someone down. And I think that's really, and then, or if the person doesn't live in your city or whatever, you can have accountability built in to go, hey, I think we should aim to have a rough synopsis done by next week. Just a couple paragraphs put together by next week. I'll take care of that. And the second you put that out there and you commit to it, then there's someone else that that person's waiting for it. That's a very, very powerful tool. The problem with open-ended creativity is that it's so easy just to say, I'll do it tomorrow. It is so easy to punt it. And like Greg said, like, anyone who is an adult that has a job and a family and a life and responsibilities
commitments and everything else, yeah.
Well, you know, like
you got to be in that Snowbike Mike stream. I understand.
It's easy. Well, it's easy when you're younger and you don't have the responsibility or the weight of the world on your shoulders, right? If you got rent, you got shit like that, you got to pay for. Like it's not. No one's gonna hold it against you if you say, you know what, instead of taking the day off today to write that screenplay I've always wanted, you're like, I'm gonna go put more work in so I can get a promotion at my job, so I can have a better life. And I feel like that's what a lot of people listen to. And I have that voice in me every single day that goes, just stay home, dude. Like, it's like last night, it was Sunday. I drove back from Tahoe, got home at 6 o'clock, and I was like, I just want to sit on my couch. But then I was like, shut up, little voice. And I went and I did some comedy last night.
Which, when you mentioned that you did a show last night, I was shocked.
I did not do a show last night. I went and sat outside of the sold out show waiting to get picked, and probably inhaling a lot of smoke. But
again, you guys just need to get outside, embrace the smoke, breathe it in. You'll be all right.
That's fair. But you know, and that's the thing. It's like you're gonna listen to that voice, and it's occasionally it's gonna happen, right? You're gonna go, oh, I just don't want to do anything tonight, and and you have to use that as a tool as well, because you do have to kind of taking care of yourself has to be a priority. But yeah, it's really hard, because I feel like I look back on the times that I've written most, and it's been because I have a deadline or I have a thing that I'm waiting for. So like, even if it's just a screenwriting competition or a short film competition, like the times that I have actually gone out and done stuff, like Tim brought up these Doritos commercials that I did on my channel a while back. And it was because I was like, oh, there's a really cool Doritos competition I didn't know about. It was like, I had seen people enter the Crash the Super Bowl competition. I was like, you know, it'd be fun to just shoot a couple 30-second spots with my friends, and this will be cool. And I was like, and then I looked at the deadline. I was like, oh shit, I got to have these done in a month. That is the fire that then goes. It's like when someone says, oh, I don't know if we're out of the wings. And then all of a sudden you're like, fuck, I really want those fucking wings, right?
Welcome to my
you
life,
gotta
perpetual.
find whatever that mechanism's gonna be that makes you want the fucking wings.
Yeah.
And because we all know, like I've seen it with every single one of us. When Greg wanted to do this showcase, it was, we're fucking doing, like, we're gonna do this. Like, we can't, it's almost that, like, you wanna find those opportunities in your life where it's like, if we don't do this, someone else will.
Yeah.
Let's be the first person to this.
Yeah, you remember that day? That was one of my big
Like, someone else is gonna do this.
I was like, we gotta be
"Greg,
the
you're
first to
fucking
announce the pro wrestling conference before anybody else does. I don't want IGN saying they're doing a press conference.
But that's good, because that's an idea that excites you.
We're gonna watch the Doritos commercials in the post show.
Oh.
So get hyped about that.
Fantastic.
Don't reveal how many views these things have.
Okay.
I want that to be a surprise to the world.
Have you ever told him your idea?
6 views?
You'll have to see.
Oh,
You'll
yeah,
have to see.
Hey, hold on, listen to this. Have you, because, so if you, we're going to watch them in the post show, great reason to come over to kindoffunny.com, or no, patreon.com/kindoffunny and watch it with us, because there'd be no idea how to find Doritos commercials from Nick Scarpino without it.
Do it, you cowards.
Thank you very much. However, yeah, Nick did these trying to win this competition, right? And then Nick dropped this idea on me that I think is brilliant. This will be the only time we ever talk about it. Go.
Well, I forget the specifics of it. What did I tell you?
The idea, Nick
Why will it be the only time? Are you guys not going to follow through with it?
You're about to understand. When you hear the pitch, you'll understand.
Okay.
Nick's idea is these are the only thing on your YouTube channel.
Yeah,
right?
I have three videos on my YouTube.
That are just-
I think I uploaded a video one time to see if YouTube would process it correctly, so I could re-download it, and I can't figure out how to delete it. But
so Nick's genius idea he dropped on me when we were up in Toronto would be that let's just make more, and let's go make a bunch of Dorito commercials, and then he releases them on his channel once a month. And we never ever mention it or promote it, and see
Just
how far we get in this YouTube channel creating high quality Doritos commercials that has no affiliation with Doritos.
None whatsoever.
That is brilliant, because I showed my brother the videos, and he was flabbergasted.
Doritos time, Doritos time.
He's like, these look like real commercials. I'm like, yeah. They were designed that way.
My pitch to Greg was, here's what we do. We just put them out. We don't talk about them. We film some, and then slowly introduce a really fucked up story, like a subtext underneath them.
Hold on.
Long Man, which did you ever watch?
Not yet.
God damn it, you guys suck.
Like,
hold on, we got to take a step back.
Commercials it's like The Vanishing, where they can't find Alex's character.
We got to take a step back.
Yeah.
Fucked up story by your brain, or by his brain.
My brain. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, it'd be dark.
Oh God. Those wouldn't even get aired in Europe.
That's the genius of this. Because Doritos doesn't want to give me $1 million for my commercials. Fuck you, I'm taking some business out of your pocket.
Did you ever see Sorry to Bother You? You remember this movie, the Tom Marketer movie?
I saw it.
You did see it?
Yeah.
I feel like I did, but
Jen and I watched it in the last week or whatever. Telemarketer, he gets bumped up. He uses his white person voice to get promoted up, and like what? That's all you should know.
Definitely a movie where it's like, the less you know, the better going into it.
When it takes its turn, I was like, this is a movie I wrote. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. It really is.
I was like watching it. I'm like, this can't really be the movie, can it? And I was like, this is the movie? This is brilliant.
Do you guys remember the time that Greg Miller fantasized about what it would be like when his daughter brought home a guy for the first time, and he reached into his pocket and handed him handfuls of hot tamales?
Hot tamales.
Yeah.
What was that? Like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah. But for us, that's a lifetime
been so
ago.
many
We've
more
made so
since.
much content since then. It's hard to
Was that
keep
not
it.
last week?
No, that
No,
wasn't. That was the
two
people
weeks
here.
ago.
It got broken out by somebody in the community last week.
Was it the Makuga episode?
It might have been the Makuga.
I don't think so. I wouldn't get that crazy in front of Josh. I respect him too much.
Josh is a professional. He's a professional.
Oh man.
So yeah.
What the fuck were we talking about?
Doritos
A
commercials.
tremendous waste of my efforts and time.
Oh, creative process.
No, but
Does that
was-
answer your question? You mentioned that it was like we tiptoed onto it in last week's episode,
Yeah.
and you want to talk more about it.
Yeah, and I mean, well, and I actually had thought about this months ago. No, thanks to Snowbike Mike's chat, because I asked them multiple times what I should talk about.
Sure.
But no, I came up with this not months ago, I guess weeks ago, and then you guys touched on it last week, and I'm like, God damn it!
I'm always happy to talk about it. But that's the thing. Like, I think that when I look at my creative output through the years, every time I've tried to do stuff just by myself, like where I let ego get in the way and go, no, I'm going to push everyone away, and this is going to be perfect, and it's going to be. It never happens, right? I think that the best piece of advice I can give you is surround yourself with people who are doing awesome shit, and either help them do the awesome shit or collaborate with them, or just find that group of people that's doing great stuff, and then just put the fucking work in and grind, because everything's a
A
grind.
great man once
Yeah.
said, "Stop, collaborate,"
And listen.
and it was true words. Very true words.
True
You gotta-
words
you gotta-
here
never
with a
spoken.
brand new
never spoken.
edition.
You got to find the group, because once you do, you just then you're allowed to present something. It'll be critiqued, and then you can work together on how to make it better.
Well, that was the thing of like, it's so much easier for us as a group, especially knowing how we all work and what each other's strengths and weaknesses are. And, Tim, when we sat down Saturday to start actually collaborating on the game showcase, it was that super exciting thing for me of like, all right, I've been building this and you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And Tim's like, no, you don't understand. I was talking to people at the Nintendo thing about this of like, we're getting ready obviously for our anniversary in January,
Yeah.
where we usually do a whole bunch of crazy stuff and this, that, and the other. And you were talking to people there about it, and you were like, it's so weird that you and I have gone off on our own to do these huge monumental things and are getting input from everybody, but then we come back to the table with what's actually happening, right? But when we're off on the own, or when we're off on our little group doing it, I know you're taking care of it, so I don't have to be worried about it. You know I'm
Absolutely.
taking care of it.
Yeah.
And like then we come together and we have these ideas, and it is the opening for the showcase, right? Where you had it almost, and then you gave it to me, and I was like, "This is it." And then I said the words, and I teared up, and I'm like, "That's it. That's what it is.
We got it.
Yeah.
Because we had the idea for like the hype intro, and it was just I was like, I'm 90% here, but like it's missing a little something. You came through with that slam dunk.
Yeah.
Football reference.
Well, close. Airbud.
God, a
Airbud.
football reference?
Denver Nuggets.
Oh, okay, Airbud.
Just keep
I
skating.
was gonna say football reference in a game show.
Just keep
case,
skating.
huh?
Just keep skating. The famous thing we say on this show all the time. Just keep
Oh
skating.
my God. Complete
wait.
sidebar. Do you know
Yeah.
how many people don't know Brink?
An upsetting amount.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
I-
Hopefully Disney Plus will bring it all back.
Is Paul
I
Heyman in
went-
that one? Is that the one Paul Heyman's in?
No.
Okay.
when you found
I'm getting confused. Which one's the
Roller
one
rollerball.
with-
roller derby? Roller something.
with where Jack Black is one of the side characters, and they have this downhill
Saving
inline
Silverman.
skate? It's the race that's downhill inline skating. Which one was that?
I mean,
don't they do downhill a little
they
bit in
do a
Brink?
little-
But I don't
when
think
Gabby,
Jack Black
Gabby
is in
gets
it.
fucked up. Christina
Yeah, when
Vidal,
you-
aka Taina.
When you picked up that X-Blade shirt,
Yeah.
I went and found it too, and I sent it to every one of my friends, and they're all
Hell
like,
yeah.
"What the fuck is this from?" I'm like, "Do you
Oh,
not
man,
remember
no.
Brink?
No, Brink, dude. Brink's
The
it's good.
world's
Give it to
greatest
me.
movie."
Scroll.
so good.
Let's go for a scroll.
We're looking through Jack Black's.
Keep going. It's from probably late 90s, early 2000s, late 90s. Hold on.
He's in a lot of movies,
Hold on.
man. He's
Prolific.
in
Hold on, hold
demand.
on, hold on. Here we go. We're getting it.
Also, I
Keep
must
going,
say,
keep going. Thank you, Airborne.
Thank you, Airborne.
Tenacious
Thanks,
D,
Joey.
Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny. I saw that for the first time ever last year.
Joey.
Oh my God.
What a movie.
What a fucking
A
movie.
film,
It's a
some would say.
journey.
A film,
Joey.
some would say.
Can you tell Andy thank you?
She walked all the way in for that. That's great. That's great. It is great. She's not Mike, so that's just a joke for us.
I think they can probably hear Andy's cackle.
They can hear that. I don't know if they heard Joey say, "I hate you," and walk out.
Hey, it sounds like you guys got a job opening. You hiring?
No, like
you know
Mike.
what? That job sounds
Stand by. Nick, what's your topic?
My topic was movies you wish you could unsee.
3 to Tango.
3 to Tango. Was that Matthew Perry?
Remember we talked about it here. It was it's a movie I hate the most or whatever.
Why do you hate that movie?
Because I was on this is a GOG. Wasn't this a GOG?
on Makuga.
Well, the Makuga one.
Yeah,
you were partying hard with Diet
I
Cokes.
was going hard.
Yeah, I had to watch it on that trip to France. And I hated it because I couldn't sleep and I was sitting there seething and hating this movie that had no reason to be hated probably.
Yeah.
Dylan McDermott, Matthew Perry, Nev Campbell. Probably a fine movie, but not great for a junior trying to go to France.
Right.
And then the worst part about it was I was in an aisle seat. So you know how the aisle is. You know how an aisle works on a plane?
Mm-hmm. No, explain it to me, please.
So like they separate the seats by an aisle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And people can walk to get their seats.
Why?
So you can get to more seats. Easier.
Seems dumb.
It could be an extra seat.
I mean, that's like.
Why is there an
S
S in aisle?
What happens if the plane crashes?
Oh, you die.
Oh, okay.
Anytime, if you ever get like a flight attendant sitting there and they're like, hey, you know what, listen up, we're giving you the safety instructions. You're welcome to say, if this plane crashes, we're dead. All right?
Yeah.
This isn't going to help me.
Excuse me, sir.
My friend Greg says, if this plane crashes, we're all
dead.
I want to give a special shout out before we go on to one John Drake, who doesn't come over enough.
Yeah, well,
but
he's
who
always
did,
gone.
and when we play the Newlywed Game, said that his worst fear in life
Oh man, don't bring it back up.
was dying of a heart attack on an airplane. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah. Oh, I remember the Newlywed
I
Game.
told my wife and I
pussy.
played the Newlywed Game. We just went back and forth as we were driving up to Tahoe. And worst fear in life, she's like, oh, yours is clearly like being a failure. I was like, yeah, you nailed it. And I was like, my friend John's is oddly specific.
Well,
which is
also,
dying of a heart attack.
I honestly
on an
don't
airplane.
think I know a single human being that flies more than him.
He also
Is that
said
fair?
Is he ever
experienced
home?
that-
He's always
He
like foreign,
flies
isn't
literally like 3 times a week.
Kevin, you were
I
going to
think
bring
he's
up
in London right
a
now,
great point for this. He flies more than anybody we know, and
He experienced that on 2 flights.
2 flights he saw people die of
2
heart
people
attacks.
die of heart attacks.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
The odds are stacked.
Yeah.
But the
I'd be more worried as Andrea. Maybe I'm number 3 on the plane with
Yeah,
John.
no,
John
John
brings the bad
John
luck and
is
the heart
clearly
attacks.
immune to
I'll
this.
tell you right now, if we're ever getting on an Alaska flight and I look over and I see John Drake, I'm getting off.
the
Not my
fuck
time,
off.
buddy.
Get off.
Not my time.
Final Destination. I've
not-
seen it way too many times.
Exactly.
Great
Exactly.
Good.
Devin
Great
Sauer,
film.
what up, friend of the show?
Oh, man.
Total
Casper.
sidebar?
We need to watch Casper.
Would you believe I've never
In
seen
review.
Casper?
Casper in review.
You've never seen
talk?
Casper?
Never seen it.
We need to watch Casper, Nick.
Here's what happens. Here's how this conversation goes. I shit you not, almost on a monthly basis in the Scarpino household. You know, I've never seen Casper, and my wife goes, "Oh, it's so good," but I feel like we just watched it. And I'm like, "No, I've never seen it.
You
I've
gotta
never
watch
seen
it.
She's
You
like,
gotta
"I don't
watch
know."
Are they
enjoy
having conversations about Casper once a month?
Have you ever
know
met
why?
Nick?
You know why it is?
I mean, I've been
You also just saw Nick forget something from 2 weeks ago.
I've
Here's
been
why, because
married.
I follow-
Interesting. Why?
I've been
followed-
married and I've been engaged, and never have I brought up the movie Casper on a
It's
monthly
because
basis.
there's only a handful of movies that I haven't seen, and this is my my shame is that I follow Devin Sawa on Twitter. As you know, we're fast friends from the 5 minutes we spent together. Me interviewing him and making him eat hot. Tim and I made him eat hot peppers. At E3.
Did you dance with him?
No, because he's jacked and he's scary.
But Devin's a lovely man.
He's fucking jacked. Remember when we brought Meg on, and I think was Andrea there as well, Justine, and they were all
Chloe.
like, "Oh my God, we love you" from Casper, and I'm like, mental note, watch Casper, and I never did.
Cool,
Well,
Greg.
it's only been
You just watched
3
Casper.
years, 5 years.
Shit
When's
goes
the
in
last
phases.
time you watched Casper?
Cool, Greg, get on that shock,
I
Mike.
bought Casper on DVD maybe 2 months ago, and I've watched the director's cut with them talking over the movie at least like 10 times.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm all about
That's
that.
my boy right there.
We gotta get Devin
You
Sawa
remember
over.
when Dan Aykroyd's in it?
Actor names I don't know.
Ghostbuster. You remember the Ghostbuster in it?
The Ghostbuster in it? I don't know Ghostbusters.
Do you remember the fucking guy dressed as a
he's
ghost?
walking out the thing.
Yeah, that was a
Did you
good
know
scene.
that's an actual Ghostbuster?
No, it is.
Don't
Yeah.
get
Cool
cool,
I
Greg.
didn't know that.
Was
Yeah.
it him?
Don't get angry at Cool Greg.
I'm just letting Cool Greg know
know
that there's
better than
only one thing he can offend me with, and that's not knowing a Ghostbuster on
understand.
sight.
I understand.
The guy who's dressed exactly like I am in my dreams, Cool Greg, that man.
Who are the Ghostbusters?
I fucking hate you too.
So messed up.
They are. I was gonna say, damn, you beat me to it. It's like in 2016, there was a film with. So, Cool Greg, can I have another beer? Yeah. Again, to add insult to injury on 3 to Tango.
Yeah.
I'm on the right side of the aisle,
Yes.
right? Up 3 or 4 rows ahead is one Poe.
No, he's awesome. I love him.
Thank you very much. I love him too.
gotta bring him
but
back.
the problem with Poe was he knew that I was struggling and trying to sleep, whereas Poe had given into his fate that he wouldn't be able to sleep.
Yeah, fuck it.
So Poe's favorite part of the flight was looking back at me, being all mad, watching 3 to Tango. Because this is back in the old days too, where we're all watching one giant screen in the front.
Oh, yeah,
So he'd look back and just laugh in my fucking face that I couldn't sleep. And
Man, that's That was a bad experience.
Those were bad days.
Those were, and every once in a while, you get one of those planes where you're like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Dude, Alaska planes right now. Like we were just talking about this a couple days ago. Like there's some big issues going on.
Are you aware of the new Alaska policies?
No,
It's not good.
I mean, I've just given up on air flight. I've got TSA pre, and so now I'm just better than everyone.
I flew Alaska for the first time because they bought Virgin, right?
Yeah, right.
And that's who you guys swore by, right?
exactly.
Yeah, Virgin was bad.
Yeah, so that's why I flew Alaska, because essentially the same company. I didn't have a bad experience.
It's because you didn't know.
I haven't flown in a while.
You didn't know what it used to be. That's the problem.
And you roll the dice.
I didn't get the song and dance
They don't do it anymore.
for the
R.I.P.
Thank God. It was so long.
for the safety.
But I remember I flew on one of those planes that it wasn't the big screen, but they would, like, the screens would come down.
Oh, I hate that shit.
And you'd be like, what? And then inevitably during the movie, you're like, I'm kind of getting into this. Some asshole will be like, time to get my shit out of the overhead bin. And I'm like, hey, I'm watching the movie.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
Cool, G, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I cursed you. Can I have a beer? No, that's fine. I didn't mean it. I understand you punished me.
Like, here's the thing. In this office,
It's fine.
It's my bad.
in this office, you're allowed to be mean to the following people.
Sure.
Everyone but Cool Greg.
Got it.
Do you
Fair.
understand that?
That's
And
fair.
me. Don't
That's
be
fair.
mean to me either. I don't like it.
Now, if you don't mind.
Yeah, he got mad at me for calling him the B word.
Who?
I was making a joke about that. I'll go fuck you, bitch.
No, he's airing of grievances with Alaska Airlines. Go.
Just now they're introducing
Thanks, Gucci.
the
Thanks,
Alaska flight of planes into the rotation, because for a while they were like, we got these Virgin planes, let's just fucking use them, and now they're using the Alaska ones. And like, I just did a flight to New York and it didn't have screens on the seats.
What
Is this the fucking Stone Age?
No.
Like,
well,
the
here's the
problem
thing,
is
though.
it's the flights you get on
Give
that,
him a second here,
that
sir.
have these stupid designs, like the patterns on.
This is the
in
old
between.
Alaska flights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
We've
gonna
been on
say
those.
this though, and this is this hurts me so bad to give this airline a compliment for all the shit we've talked about United.
Yeah.
Okay. With all the terrible encounters I've had with people at United customer service.
Sure.
Just the attitude that I get all the time. But I will say, shout out to United for allowing you to use your screen and just tether to Wi-Fi and stream all the stuff to that.
All right, your personal viewing experience.
I kinda like
Oh,
it.
they do that with a lot. They do that now too.
I was gonna say Alaska
That kinda
does that.
works
I
for me.
watched the first half of Tag doing that. I'm really
movie.
excited to watch the last half
Can't
of
wait to
Tag
go home.
flying home.
I do that all the time.
But
I'll
no.
start. Let's just start this. I
Here's
gotta
the
wait home.
other problem with Alaska, as they continue to reap. They're like the Trump administration of airplanes. They keep repealing the good stuff the Virgin administration had put through. Okay, they also now no longer can you order from your seat with the touchscreen.
I don't like
It is
that.
bullshit.
You gotta fucking talk to the people.
I
No,
hate
thank
that.
you.
I
gotta-
No, thank you.
No.
I gotta say though, the technological in advances they have. Drink cart comes around. Hey, what do you want? Give me 2 bottles of vodka and some orange juice. Okay, give me your card. Slide once, didn't work. Slide twice, didn't work. Slide 3 times. Oh, I guess my machine's not working. Here's your free vodka.
Yeah.
So the
take that one, take that one.
technological in advances, I'll take in that case.
But the problem with that is, back in the day, meaning a month ago, if you had the screen, you could just hit the eat button, and then you choose what you want, and then they bring it to you. You don't need to wait for the carts to come out.
Yeah, I don't want to be on somebody else's schedule.
No.
I want to be on my schedule.
I think,
all
I,
right.
I think I had a plane flight. I think it was just down to LA, which is like a 45-minute long flight, where I ordered like 4 Diet Cokes. I just kept
I'm not
when they'd
surprised.
bring me
You
one. I'm
were
like,
no
you
one's
know what?
surprised.
I'm just gonna
Nick
queue
was
this up for the
partying.
next time.
Nick was partying on that flight.
Man.
Hey, man, you
that
wanna party?
was awesome because I was like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to wave you down. I don't want to hit the stupid light. We have technology.
People,
order the Diet Coke.
please, they ignore the fucking light.
Also, have we not evolved to a place where you can just give me the fucking can? Do you have to give me the child size? Yeah, but I don't want to ask.
Yeah.
Because that's weird.
100%.
Just give me the can.
You're old, man.
I'm like, give me the
He's an
ginger
old
ale.
fogey.
Give me a
It's
can of
not
ginger
that.
ale.
It's just like they give you the tiniest little cup with 5 pieces of ice that
No,
already
he's right
take
about
up
this one, yeah.
90% of the space in the
90%.
thing. Give me the thing. Give me the thing.
Just ask. Just ask.
It's rare that I always appreciate it, but Kevin's on fire, right?
Kevin knows me, man.
He's right.
When Kevin, that's the thing. Kevin and I see eye to eye on a lot of issues, and we do know.
No,
like,
you don't.
We definitely
No,
do.
yeah. So sorry. This issue is one that hits close to home.
It does.
Shout outs to Hawaiian Airline. Last time I went, I asked for the drink, and the dude looked at me and he's like, "You want the can?" And I was like,
Yes, I
yeah,
want the
do.
fucking can."
Yeah, I fucking do."
Sidebar.
I'm on
Speaking
a
of
4-hour
Hawaiian
flight.
Airlines,
Yeah, I'm gonna want more than just a sip of fucking Diet Coke.
Yeah,
I spent the money to come on this show.
Thank you.
And waited God knows how long to get a response from one Kevin Coelho.
That happens, yeah.
Because
No, you gotta
somebody
wait
was
till-
on vacation in Hawaii
That'll happen.
and
True.
ignoring me.
He got married.
Sure.
Oh no.
He got married. It only happened once or twice.
Something bad happened.
I don't
What
think that is. The screen's
fuck
black
you,
over there on
break?
OBS.
Yeah, the screen is black over here. Give me 2 seconds.
No problem. Take your time, Kev.
We're still streaming. They can still hear you.
You think we're still streaming?
He disconnected it because I was insulting him.
Okay. Okay.
I wasn't trying to like cut.
What? No worry, Kev. Kevin's running around. So we
It's
should
all
keep
good,
the show
Kev.
as
You got
normal, right,
this.
Kev?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I regret seeing any, or if I would take back seeing any movies.
Well, here, hold on. To pull it back, was the initial intent of this, I would love to experience that movie again? Or was it, no, I saw a shitty movie and I don't want to see it?
Also,
Either way.
Also,
Either way.
does this question include
I
pornos?
think this was a topic on that someone submitted to me on Twitter.
So you-
a long time
okay,
ago.
so
it
you
was
never
not
thought
mine
about it?
necessarily.
Okay.
No, I hadn't thought about it. Maybe we can make it positive. Yeah. What movies
can
that
be
you
whatever you want.
Well, that's a whole other topic. I say we save that.
Sure.
Because the negative thing
To
is
see
I don't-
again? Okay.
Yeah, like our
Just make sure I understand.
Men in Black movies, right?
Men in Black, I'd do that.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
No, Heartbeat.
Second one, not so much. Third one.
That was the first PG-13 movie I ever watched without my parents knowing. I got in
PG-13,
so
that
much.
was a thing?
Yeah. I got in so much trouble when I got home.
Really?
It's a problem?
I was Mormon growing up, man.
Okay. PG-13, you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, in California, they're like,
Suggested.
you're 6, go into the rated R movie, buddy. Live
Here's a
life.
Not quite
joint.
that.
Here's some fucking
Here's some
drugs.
black tar
How
heroin.
do you take your drugs?
Jeepers Creepers 2.
Yeah.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Probably not
Halloween
good.
2, the Rob Zombie one of the worst movies I've ever seen. The Happening.
I thought you were going to say
lot of horror
the
movies.
Halloween
Happening,
Town.
really?
One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Was that the
But
one with the trees?
That was.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, all of those movies, I don't regret seeing them because they were so bad that it's like there's something there. And The Happening, like, man, the more I think about it, like, I don't ever want to watch it again. But I just think back to it, 90% of that movie was just Mark Wahlberg having to act against the wind.
God, he's so
that's
great.
tough. That's
And
tough.
that's fucking pretty
I mean,
good.
even you love or hate Mark Wahlberg. That's a tough.
It's
that's
tough,
a tough
but he
style.
didn't do great with it.
That's tough.
Yeah.
And this is also Mark Wahlberg like 15 years ago before he was getting those choice acting roles. So
Oh,
he
yeah.
really had a lot of experience as an actor. It was like Fear, then Nothing for a while.
And then The Happening.
And then The
Now,
When
Happening.
John Leguizamo was there.
Oh,
He was great.
Andy, I need you on shock mic there.
Happening was after The Departed.
no.
Yeah.
Mookie, what's
Happening was
it?
like 2006.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, one movie I would not take back seeing
Ghostbusters.
is The Departed.
Oh yeah.
Because The
good movie.
Departed
Great
is a
film.
good
Enjoyable
movie.
movie.
It's a movie.
Great film.
I am a holder of one thing, Nick.
Oh wow.
Oh, God.
And that is that The Departed is a good movie.
What do you like about The Departed? Do you like all the times that tonally it's just completely off? Do you like the comic relief of Alec Baldwin just eating and bumping into shit, leaving
like-
sweat marks on the side of the fucking the FBI wall?
I like the fact that
Do you like the fact that they stole
movie
the ending from Reservoir Dogs and that?
I don't know if you've we've spent a day together.
We're fast friends.
Fast friends.
I'm listening
You
to you.
might-
I'm just looking up The Departed when it came
Oh, you're
out.
you're fine. You might not realize this, but I was definitely not the greatest
2006.
student in high school.
Okay.
And The Departed, because of The Departed and my love of The Departed,
You moved to Boston.
I was the #1 film student in my entire high school, even though I was a C average
What does that
student.
mean? Wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Using the film techniques and stuff in that, I was able to pass my film class and knock out the test.
What was the criteria for your film class? Make a bunch of things that don't make sense and then kill
Okay.
everyone off at the end?
Yeah,
That's
basically.
around a
And then
bit.
just
I
throw
killed
some cocaine at a
I
hooker
killed my
and that's
entire
it?
school off at the end just to be
Jesus
#1.
That's
Best
fair.
picture, man.
That's fair. I mean, it was.
Best picture.
I can't argue with that.
Can I argue?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mainly
what-
because they felt bad that
Was it
Scorsese
Best
hadn't
Picture, or
won
did he
before,
just win
but
for best director.
No, it's best picture.
it was Best Picture.
I remember in
Not gonna say they got that wrong.
I remember
Recount,
you
you know what I
don't
mean?
you don't
Academy
offend the
sucks.
Academy
Let's-
for your
I'm
upcoming
just saying,
pick.
Academy. It's all political now.
I remember watching
merit.
The Departed and enjoying The Departed, but I never think again about The Departed. If we didn't talk about it so much just to make fun of Nick, I would never think
It's
about
one
it.
of those things where it just depends on like The Part is not a bad movie. It's just not my favorite Scorsese film. Right?
Oh, and-
I look at Casino. I look at Goodfellas. I think look at Wolf of Wall Street. That's the tone and the kind of film that I expect from him. Departed was, and this is no pun intended, a departure for me as far as like what he had done.
And
This
I
is
will
true. This is
I will
true.
be the first to admit the only other Scorsese film I've seen is Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Holy shit, really?
That's more like
Again,
Scorsese that I love.
Mormon.
Yeah, but you're old now. How old are you?
I am 20. Oh shit. Oh, that's why I'm here. I turned 30 on November 24th.
Hey!
Happy birthday.
Well, now go see Casino and
Dirty
Goodfellas.
30, baby.
You should definitely watch Goodfellas and Casino. I think I should start with Casino first because Goodfellas is a little dated, but that is like classic.
Goodfellas still
Scorsese.
rules though, man.
It's
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
Pronounce it like
narrated.
that.
They do the fourth wall breaks where they look at the camera and talk. Like it's so fucking good. There's a part where he's first starts dating. I'm just gonna tell you this because it's gonna ruin
Do
it. For you.
it. I mean,
Ray
God, how
Liotta
old's the
first starts
movie?
dating Lorraine Bracco, right? And they're on their first date, and then some guy across the street like fucks with her a little bit, like kind of sexually assaults her. And he's like, Karen, calm down. Who did this? Like very sweet, right?
He's playing
and
fast and loose. This is their first date.
She goes, oh, maybe they've been dating for a while. She goes, oh, that guy over there like fucked me. He goes, don't worry about it. I'm gonna take care of it. Just go in the house. Walks to his car, gets his gun out, walks over to the guy. The guy's like, what's up? And he fucking beats the guy's fucking face in with a gun. And he goes, you ever touch her again? I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, so you ever look at her again.
Look at her again. Walks back to the house, hands her the gun and goes, hide this for me. And it cuts to her perspective and her view. She goes, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of turned on. It was so it's so fucking good. What could I say? I was turned on.
Paulie's guys
so
were over
good.
here doing certain crimes, but in Lower Boston, we did this, and like,
Yeah,
I
it's so
love
good.
it.
It's so good.
Since I
Goodfellas
can
is such
remember,
a fucking
I wanted
flick.
to be a gangster.
The reason I had you sit down, Andy
What's up?
Cortez, is that you have more of a view of what's happening on the other side of the TV.
Yes.
I appreciate that you and Joey walked into the room, and then Kevin's like, "Do you smell that? What happened?"
Joey walks in and
shit,
says,
I didn't even hear
Can
that."
somebody come in here and see if it smells
Like
they
burning?
smell smoke like I do? And I walked in, I was like, yeah, it smells like something's burning back here, like burning rubber, burning plastic. And Kevin's over here doing open heart surgery.
It sounds like, yeah, from my mind, it sounds like he's a mechanic underneath a car. You know what
He's
I mean?
like, oh, we got a lot of problems here. man."
Oh.
I just keep
boy.
I keep seeing cords like fall out and then
Corey,
be slowly dragged back in.
it could be a socket wrench.
Yeah, that's like
Scalpel.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
man.
smell isn't here anymore, though, but it
It's-
hyperdeck burning itself to death.
Ooh, that's not good. That's an expensive
really
piece
bad.
of equipment.
it smelled really
Well, he already
really
said at the
bad.
beginning of the show it's dead. So we had to
Yeah, the
say
hyperdeck
goodbye.
we had some problems with. So maybe it's time to get a new hyperdeck.
With all to be 100% honest, the hyperdeck did tell me a long time ago if Stanley ever goes, I'm going. all right,
I don't want to live in a world where
I
Stanley
can't live in a world without Stanley. And I was like,
That's fair.
Hyperdeck,
That's
I need you, but I respect you.
do respect
Whatever
you.
you got
I
to
do
do to
respect
make
you,
yourself
Hyperdeck.
right.
Camera is still rolling though.
Oh, we're not worried about
Okay.
that. Yeah. Is the stream still hearing audio? Or what a great show. I love this fucking place. Whatever. Kevin is literally, if you're an audio listener, just getting giant cables out of the side.
I don't know where he pulled that from. It was like there's a solid wall over there, and all of a sudden Kevin manifested a 25-foot cable out of fucking thin air.
As an audio listener, we're about 10 minutes away from the fucking ship commander of the Titanic really understanding the situation. You know what I mean? People are scuttling all around.
Except kind of funny, we never thought to put lifeboats on the Titanic.
I'm so-
fuck it. We had one, I think, one time.
If you're an audio listener, I am so glad this is my time here.
This is good.
The fucking ship
Also-
burning down while I'm at it.
No, we're not worried about the video at all. It's just all fun. And I also appreciate, like, hey, go in there and does anybody else smell smoke? Yup. No sign of the fire extinguishers. We have them. No sign of anybody walking in.
There's no fire. The box just got really hot.
Did it do the thing I was joking around about? Poof.
Open
the
the
Mission Impossible
windows and
thing?
stop being
Like, it'll
wusses
self-destruct.
about
It's
the
like-
smoke.
Yeah,
No, you see-
it's probably because it's very hot.
A joke that I like to, I've done twice now to Kevin and it freaks him out every time, is that when he goes out there to have a cigarette with Cool Greg and we're doing something streaming, I'll trot out there and just be like, hey man, the computers went poof, and there's all this smoke, we need help. He's like, oh god! And the first time, Cool Greg lost all color in his face and Kevin started running like, I'm fuck right there. And the second time Kevin started running and Cool Greg bust up because he knew I was joking.
That is one way to get them to quit smoking.
Yeah.
In Greg's brain, what I love about that is that he channeled like the old '60s Batman, where things actually
computer.
would just pop and smoke.
Now you say that, what I'm actually channeling, of course, is in the old spare bedroom, in the old Studio Gen 1, when we'd get electrocuted by the mics.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And I ordered the, hey, is the plug grounded? I ordered that thing off Amazon. And it got there, I was like, oh, great. And I plugged it in and it went, poof, it smoked and exploded. And I was like, oh, I guess this plug isn't grounded because it just blew this fucking thing
That is
up.
Speaking of that, I would love to get shocked by the shock mic before I leave.
Oh, does it still do it?
Happen for? Yeah, it still does it.
So you have to hold the thing and grab the thing.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, there's electricity coming through, obviously,
it.
powering the microphone,
Go
and
do
then
it.
it just creates a
You
circuit.
want to do this willingly, right?
Yeah,
not
that
gonna
was it. He
die.
just said it.
He's like,
No,
he's gonna
he
get a shock
probably won't die.
He's gonna get a shock to the balls.
Andy,
It's
show him
fine.
how to get
Mom and
shocked.
Dad.
Which one first? Either?
Either one. You're making a circuit there? Is it happening? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
The sexual arousal that Nick told.
Oh, we got to wrap the cable around your neck first.
Yeah, we have to David Carradine you a little bit.
Jesus. Everybody knew where we were driving at. You didn't have to
If
say
you
it.
didn't know,
Is that bad?
This
sorry,
is
everyone.
the Game Over Greggy show. Each and every week, 3, sometimes 4 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny. Just like Toggle did. You can come on the show. You can kick us some bucks, get to watch it live. You can watch it later on demand with no ads. Maybe the pre and post show, the post show we're about to do now. But if you have no bucks to toss our way, it's no big deal. You can head over to youtube.com/kindafunny or podcast services around the globe the following Friday when it goes live for everybody.
This was a good one.
This was a great
was a good
one.
one.
Did you have fun talking?
Good job, Mike.
Hell yeah, this is one of the best days of my life.
Hell yeah.
Go support on Patreon for way too much money. Come out here, check out this place. It's fucking badass.
Thank you.
It's
Do it.
It's a lot of money.
Don't say that. That's a bad pitch.
No, shut up, Nick. Just do it.
Thanks for
These guys are awesome. This place is awesome.
We love you, Mike. Thanks so much for coming through.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm glad you're in a good place too. I'm glad you let us be a part of that.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Thank
man.
you.
No
Kevin,
problem.
Yeah.
are we in a place to watch the Doritos videos, or we're gonna have to save that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. He's like Doc Brown over there, like fucking experimenting.
I have the videos like queued up. I don't know why I'm not getting a feedback up. So give me 2 minutes to figure that out, and then we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Oh, wait, can we not cut yet?
Yeah, sure. No, don't we?
I had one thing. The whole reason I'm on this show, I'm doing a extra live stream.
Oh shit, I didn't know this. Why didn't you say this earlier?
I completely spaced it
son
when
of a
we were
bitch.
talking about my background. November 24th, the day I turn 30, I'm doing an extra live stream, part of Team Kinda Funny.
Hell yeah.
8 a.m. to 8 a.m. Mountain time.
That's real
Hey, at
time
least
right there,
it's
Kev.
not Central Time.
That's real. That's real time, Kev.
So, twitch.tv/toggle_on-games. Come join, come hang out, donate if you can. My goal this year is $1,000. Last year, I only made it like 8 hours into the stream and made like $150. But I have people coming over to keep me awake this year.
Nice.
So I'm going for the $1,000.
Hell yeah.
Now that's Saturday the 24th, right?
Yeah.
That's my Chicago meet and greet.
It is your
Can
Chicago
we Skype
meet and
in?
greet.
Can we do something? Can
Hell
we
yeah.
cross the streams? There you
Hell
go.
yeah.
Perfect. All right, cool.
Hell yeah.
All right, great.
I'd be all about that.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank
you.
That was the whole reason that I was pushing for this date, to get this out before my stream. And I
did
spaced it earlier.
Go check them
All
out.
right.
Twitch.tv/toggle_on-games.
Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you as Kevin panics because I think the live stream's dead too.
The spaceship is going into the sun. Let's put it that way. There's no stopping it.
The final trend, like just fucking just pieces are flying off as it goes.
Are you guys still getting the view up there?
Yeah, we see
everything.
the chat. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, great.
I don't think the chat's going anymore though.
Well, it said
No,
chat.
it's
No,
fine.
it's fine. No, it's fine. Everything's going
What's
so
up,
far.
DK? What's up, Mike? What's up, Emily?
Are you guys seeing yourself down here?
Yeah.
Yes.
On the confidence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Everything
TV
looks
in.
normal from our side of the equation. Kevin Coelho.
Mike says GGWP mostly. What does that mean? And why does my
Good
mind go to
game,
a
well
dirty
played,
place?
mostly.
Oh my God, we're back to the butt chugging.
God, it never left.
It never left, dude.
Chance Carter says we're still here. What are you drawing over here?
Just faces.
Some Iron Man?
Because my mama took one.
Kevin Hollick says, "What a great episode,
That's
Mike! You
Chance,
killed it."
Yes. You did. You were great, man. Did you have fun?
What's up, Andrew?
a
Andy
ton of
Prince.
fun.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you
thank
guys
you,
for
man.
having me on.
No,
Jorge,
for coming on,
Jeremy
man.
Goldman.
So Tim, how do you feel about this Doritos idea? It won't make us
Doritos
any money, and it won't grow our
It's-
channel,
It's pretty funny.
but it's hilarious, right?
It's the type of thing that, like, in 10 years, someone's gonna write an article and it's gonna go viral, and
Yeah.
then that's gonna be our break.
But then
that's finally
that's
when
we'll
like
get
About
big.
time. About time.
a Game Over Greggy show is
Yeah.
gonna get like 100,000 views, and people are gonna be like, "Why haven't we been listening to this forever?"
It's great.
Let's go
I
back and
found
listen
these
to them
guys.
all. Let's all give money on Patreon.
They're
Yeah.
hilarious. By the
Remember that
we're all
time the
dead.
computer exploded?
Oh, no,
Thank you, Jamie.
Mookie.
DK, the darkest episode yet. I get it. I see what he's up to. Cause see, it's black right now. They can hear us. They can't see
Oh,
us.
I see. I understand that. This is a good episode.
It was a great episode.
I had a great time.
I'm very proud of this one.
We're almost
I
there.
like.
You're fine,
I feel like
Kevin.
most of my topics are what I like to call springboard topics, where they're not good topics. But
Oh, they get us somewhere.
they get us in a good jumping off point is what I mean by the springboard. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. They're great.
Yeah, it's fun.
Welcome Eli Nicholson, who says, this is my first episode, or this is the best episode. Was the best episode for my first live stream of GOG ever. And then DJ Kento pops up and says, just got here. Here's the screen black for everyone else. What happened is what he follows up with.
My hyperdeck died.
There was a poof of smoke, DJ Kento. We got Doc Brown working on it in the background, trying to figure what the fuck's up.
Now, Big Kev Dog,
Yo.
are you still doing the Instagram series of what failed us today?
I already included this.
Perfect. Everyone go to Instagram.com/kindoffunnykevin. You can see what died for us today on the story and why we got here.
That's a great series.
Ignacio, have you guys tried turning on the lights? Fuck you, Ignacio.
Damn.
Somebody ban him for 15 seconds.
Now you get it. Now you get it. He's one of those guys that's, oh man, we couldn't do without him. We love him. So supportive. He's also one of those guys. Fuck you.
I'm so glad you guys ban him every morning.
Between him, like Omega Batman doesn't watch live anymore, but he gets me in the chat every once in a while, and I'm like, or in the comments every once in a while, and I'm like, you motherfucker. You know I have no power on YouTube comments.
Gary H, my first stream too. I did the fuck your boss thing and watched it.
Fuck your boss, dude. Yeah, someone was talking on the morning show. They were like, oh, we can't watch. We're banned from watching you guys. And I was like, did we get you banned at work?
That was funny.
Fucking assholes.
Mike says, I wish I could unsee The Last Airbender and The Master of Disguise.
Oh, yeah. I never saw The Last Airbender because everyone was like, it's so bad.
Yeah.
But Master, which one? Oh, it was Master of Disguise? Turtle. It's so fucking dumb. But see, those are movies that are...
No, you cannot unsee Master of Disguise.
No, that's the thing.
It was so stupid. It was great.
We never actually got around to me, but I'm like, I don't think there's a movie I would want to unsee because I like, there are so many movies that I've watched that I'm like, that was a bad movie. And then I watch it like 5-6 years later. I'm like, okay. And then I watch it and I'm like, you know what? I like this movie. Like Step Brothers was like that for me. I always talk about that.
Fuck, I love Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Yasman 300 has an interesting question. Greg, who should we kidnap in order to have Instagram verify Kinda Funny and your account, right? No, listen to me. Listen to me. It needs to be an inside job. We kidnap, so you guys kidnap Cool Greg. And we're all in on it, wink, wink, but your one demand as kidnappers is...
I'm getting a message from your mom on this one.
I know.
Your mom's gonna be like, don't... Cool. By the way, did you
tell them kidnap Cool Greg?
Did you tell them what your mom said about his eyes?
No.
It was the best fucking thing ever.
No, what?
I was talking to my mom, I was just like, hey, there's this thing happening, and like, I might win. It's gonna be pretty cool. And then she goes,
oh, the pie eating contest.
She goes, oh, is it best blue eyes in San Francisco? And I was like, no, Mom, it's not. She's like, good, because your brother would win that.
Damn!
I was like, Dad, you really turned on me.
Shade thrown at the baby blues.
Greg, are you familiar with volleyball terminology?
Yeah, playing with the boys.
That was a sick dig. You see what I'm saying there?
Did you say sick dick?
Dig. A sick dig.
That was a sick dick.
Randomly, by the way, over the weekend, I went to a high school volleyball game.
All right, that doesn't sound good
The
for you.
pervert,
That doesn't sound
the
like
pervert in you is worrying me.
No, it was a thing that was one of my family members was
Again, the pervert in you is worrying me.
It was super fun. It was interesting. It's interesting going back to high school and seeing, like, being in that environment, but as a old ass fucking man.
Like when we went, Jesus, whoa, fuck, I lost it. When we were in, when we went up to Vancouver for Heel Kick.
Yeah.
Jen and I wandered around without you, and you and Dee went and did your thing. And we eventually wandered over to a convention center. We were walking along the water, and then like walked into a convention center, and inside was like the Canadian National Cheerleading High School Association Championship, and it was that thing of like, all right, we're doing this. And Jen and I hung out for like 30 or 45 minutes walking through the booths and looking at like different things and like watching competitions.
Oh, they had that at PSX too, right? There was a cheerleading competition at PSX.
They did have that, yeah.
That was super weird. Didn't they have a cheerleading competition one year at VidCon?
Yeah.
I was like, this is a terrible idea.
You can cheer at any time of the year.
Fair.
Yeah.
Nick, Charles Jacobson in the chat wants to know how much the bailout was after you went to this volleyball.
All right, Charles Jacobson. It's different in America. They let you do whatever you want in this country because we have something called fucking freedom.
It's not right, Charles.
We have freedom.
It's not true.
Unlike your socialistic country.
I'm making fun of you guys, but I will say I was a cheerleader in high school.
No shit, really?
Were you really?
Show me the photos.
I don't have them on here.
The internet exists. Facebook exists. Don't try to get out of this. You're locked in.
No, I realize.
Tim, get the photos.
Let me. No, I'll
get on it.
Google
I know.
Cheeks Junior 2 cheerleader.
Jesus Christ. It is.
I'm a half the size of Cheeks Junior.
It's uncanny.
You're like Cheeks Junior, but like the prototype.
The original, the OG.
Yeah.
But the fucking 15-year-old older version of him.
Just Cheeks?
Huh?
No junior?
He's just
Cheeks Senior.
Cheeks, the later years.
What would it do if I sang?
Alpha Cheeks.
Alpha Cheeks, that's good too.
Will you stand up and walk around on me?
Is this Tim?
I don't know. I'm just kind of doing a face.
If you put a beard on him, it's Tim. We're waiting on these cheerleader photos, and then we'll end this thing.
Stand.
I don't know if I'm gonna find
What
him.
you sketching there, Nick?
Because I was
Sketch of the
worried
face.
when I was a
Cool.
young buck that I wasn't gonna get laid after people found out I was a cheerleader.
Well,
So I deleted it all from my social medias.
Sure,
So
Try to wipe it from the internet.
I'm going through my old friends and Google.
Andy did the same thing when he was in Menudo.
Yep. A lot of people don't know that.
I'm not.
That's where he got all those sick guitar skills.
I'm not
That's
seeing
what I
it.
saw, was my
But
name.
if I find a picture,
All right,
I
tweet
will
it.
send it in or post it on the subreddit.
Perfect. That's what I like
do.
to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your post show as Kevin Deep Sighs. Kevin, we love you. I'm so sorry.
Hold on, DK. He's the McRib of Cheeks Jr. limited time.
That's too much to unpack. Thank you so much for your support on patreon.com/kindafunny. We love hanging out with you and doing this stuff with you. Tell your friends to come do it. Tell them to go over, see Andy.
Do it.
Where?
Anywhere, man.
Oh, okay.
Wherever you
You
are.
can catch Andy streaming tonight in my dreams.
Ooh.
Stream Dream.
Stream dreams.
Mike, thank you so much for coming through and supporting us.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me, guys. It's been a fucking blast.
When's your stream again?
November 24th, 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. Mountain Time. Or if I need to go West Coast, Best Coast time, 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. November 24th.
That's
Gotcha.
the way to go, baby.
West Coast, Best Coast.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's been our pleasure to serve you.